Hi, everybody, and welcome to this episode of... We have a name.
Tome of the Seven Guardians.
Tome of the Seven Guardians. A name I came up with and remember very well.
And it's a D&D name, too.
Yeah. It is. I am your DM, Hannah. These are my lovely players.
Screeching pterodactyl noises.
Screeching pterodactyl noises.
The microphone tried to protect me by only transmitting part of that pterodactyl screech.
Well, to be fair, it was 2 pterodactyl screeches.
Yeah.
Oh, it was 2 of you. Good. So we are joined by 2 pterodactyls, Allie and Bucky? B was the other pterodactyl.
Well, Bucky behaved himself. Bucky simply narrated the screeches, like the voiceover aid.
Okay, so we have Hannah, who is the DM. We have me, who is recording. We have Allie and B, who are terrible pterodactyls. We have Bucky, who is a good boy, and we have R, who has been being the most well behaved by being quiet.
Hey, I was helpful. I narrated.
I think we also have Clover making noises in the background. I'm assuming that's Clover because I haven't seen Max today yet.
That is Max. He's back
there. Clover's actually being quite chill. Max is clipping.
You may notice
Clover, you have my most sincere apologies for assuming it was you who was making the noise. Not that it was a bad noise, it was just a, oh, there's a dog here noise.
But yeah, all you can see is his tail.
Oh my god. Hello. It's a snake.
It's his butt.
It's a fuzzy snake.
Yeah. As always, guest starring as their joint character, Dirty Street Dog, Max and Clover.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm a dirty street dog.
So, who wants to tell me what happened last time?
We got our asses kicked by a bunch of toys.
They were worthy opponents. That Tarask was like a foot tall.
Mm-hmm.
And that flump.
Oh, that flump was
died.
Yes, it's for failure. Yes.
The flump was the devil.
I'm pro flump, and that flump will haunt me.
I love flumps. They're great.
Flumps.
Not that one though. So yeah, during the end of the market day, we were in the tinker shop because we heard screams and children were in danger. So we kind of unendangered the children as best we could. And eventually stomped on the animated toys that were causing the problem, and it was only Rook who got knocked out, technically.
Yeah,
I think.
I'm sure there's been at least one that I haven't been knocked out in. One.
You were unconscious in the Wavy Jones fight.
I remember going unconscious.
You're definitely unconscious in the wolf fight.
Also, the slime phoenix fight, definitely.
Listen, Rook is a lover, not a fighter.
The toys where you went unconscious.
Yeah. But what about...
the fire?
No, that was the wolf fight.
Oh, right.
And we've definitely had a lot more fights, and I was awake during all of them.
Yeah, name them.
I never fall unconscious except for the handful of times that I've fallen unconscious every single combat.
Listen, some people have canaries that they send into mines. We have an owlin that we send into combat.
Oh yeah, you're a fan of Hannah's combat? Name 3 of her top hits.
Well, there was the time that she knocked me unconscious.
I think the time that I made you fight your own sister to the death was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Not to the death.
Emotional hit.
And then
technically not to the death.
No, you guys came out okay.
Yeah. The slime ooze that kept...
Yeah, the self-replicating slime was funny. Mostly because...
I forgot it self-replicated.
It would have been funny for me too, but I was napping on the floor, dying and bleeding out.
It was the worst boss in Super Mario Sunshine.
Did you at least have Flood with you?
No. And we didn't.
Oh no.
Oh god, Max is licking my hand.
Can I be of assistance?
Mario.
And then
The most dreaded sound out of fucking water.
So, other than that, the other thing that happened last session was that Rook gave us presents.
Yeah.
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 And it was real gay.
It's very sweet.
It was very sweet, and Krozu did not cry because you didn't see it. So if you didn't see it, it didn't happen.
Yeah, of course not.
So, we are starting this this session with a stealth mission.
No.
Don't
Okay,
worry,
don't-
I don't think it's your stealth mission. I was wondering if Hannah would remember this.
What?
Oh, yeah.
Krozu is on a
Sir.
stealth mission.
Sir.
Maximum, this is not an ideal auditory environment.
Max is excited about the stealth mission. He wants to come along and make it a not stealth mission.
Offering you attention. I don't know what you want from me.
Max, I appreciate it, but I did already roll, and I rolled like a 16, so what if Janie rolled higher? I'm sure she didn't. I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah,
We'll
she's
find
just
out.
Janie.
Don't worry. I think she only has like a +7 to perception.
Oh, is that all? Listen, I cannot impress upon you enough that if Krozu had a choice between getting caught doing something bad and getting caught doing something good, they would prefer to be caught doing something bad.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That makes sense.
Okay,
Yeah.
That's pretty classic.
I love Krozu.
Krozu, if I recall correctly, I had you roll twice
Yes, once for...
to evade your party members,
Correct.
and once to evade Jamie.
Correct.
And the
Incredible.
only number I remember is a 16. So
Yeah,
I'm
the
going
six...
to give you the option to use the 16 for one of them, and you may re-roll one or both of those because I fucking forgot.
I will say, just, this is me being completely honest, I definitely remember failing the check
I
to...
remember you beefing a roll, but I don't remember how bad, and how bad you beefed it matters suddenly.
Yeah, but like, when I rolled twice, I rolled a failure and I rolled a 16. And I was like, it's more important that I give the high roll to the Janie check because I care more about what Janie thinks of me. Janie cannot know that I have a heart. It would be bad. So I'm sticking with the 16. The lower roll is what I used to fail getting past my comrades.
Okay.
With a perfectly normal, like, pot of roses and tulips and what have you.
I'm going to go ahead and let you roll again because, again, the number matters. And everyone else, please roll perception with disadvantage because you are asleep.
Oh my god, Clover.
I am somewhat terrified.
Ow.
I'm just rolling stealth, right? This time I rolled a 19.
All right.
Perception?
It is perception.
I beefed it.
I got a
That's
12.
okay.
I
got
got
a
a. Oh, that. Oh,
14.
I didn't realize this. Oh. Okay. That's a 21.
You have successfully evaded everyone,
Except.
and you sneak into the hallway in under cover of darkness. Tip, 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 clank.
Hi.
Do I run into Karen?
You do run into Karin.
Hi.
He does
Okay.
have a glass of milk.
Karen has a glass of milk.
Yes. He got up for a midnight drink.
Clover, I love you, but you are making Bucky make noises.
I don't understand why they wouldn't be able to.
What do you want? No.
Well, just
Okay. Settle.
who does digest lactose? Truly,
Me.
Me? I don't
Me.
have.
shut the fuck up.
I don't have lactose problem.
Why are you biting me?
Only Bucky understands me.
I understand you. She's biting.
Okay, you done, Clover? You done?
She's-
You good girl? You good girl? She's a good girl. So yeah, for context, Krozu is kind of has in one arm like a kind of quite a large pot of
Nothing.
pot of nothing, and then two little sapling trays of also nothing. No, actually it's seed packets if I remember correctly. Fuck, was it? Oh, it's been a while.
I think you got bulbs.
Yeah, I got tulip bulbs. Okay, so it was a pot of yellow roses, a packet of tulip bulbs, and some little sweet pea starters. So they're kind of carrying these, and they kind of, when they bump into Karen, they kind of reel backwards a little bit and kind of right themselves, make sure they don't drop anything, clock that it's Karen, and go, "Oh, hey. Well, what are you doing up?"
I got thirsty.
Well, you should get a drink then.
Karen gestures to the glass of milk.
Oh, you got a drink. That's good. That'll help with the thirst. Okay, well,
What are you doing up?
druid stuff.
I mean, that explains the flowers.
Yep.
You gotta go plant some flowers?
Yeah. That's what I'm doing. 'Cause I'm a druid. I do plants, flowers, stuff.
I think Janie would like some flowers.
Janie? No. I mean, would she? I don't know anything about Janie. I've only been working here for like 6, 7, 8, 2 months? Is that... Anyway, it's Krozu clearly wants to like shrug or gesture with their arms, but they can't because they are holding all these plants. So, yep, I better go. Hannah, how far am I away from Janie's office?
I'm gonna say probably about 40 feet. Like, it's a few rooms down from you still. Karen is currently in your way. Karen is blocking both Janie's office and the stairs downstairs.
Okay. I am going to sort of like edge my way around Karen and make as if I'm going downstairs.
Karen, since Krozu's arms are full, you do have the ability to stop them physically if you want to.
Nah, Karen will like just move out of the way, let them pass, and then is like, "Okay, I'm going to bed now."
Okay, did you say you were going downstairs and not to Janie's upstairs office?
I'm making as if I'm going downstairs.
Okay.
So, like, I will get to the stairs and then turn around and see if Karen is still there.
Karen is walking towards his room and then goes in.
Krozu kind of makes padding noises at the top of the stairs, but like lighter and lighter, as to try and mimic the effect of walking further away while staying in the same place.
Like a 5-year-old?
No, this is at least 7-year-old behavior.
You're right. I'm sorry. I meant to say 7-year-old.
Yes.
I forget at what age you develop sufficient theory of mind to understand that sounds get fainter to other people.
I mean, you learn about the Doppler effect in middle school?
No,
High
you
school?
don't.
No, you
I learned it in middle school.
I don't know what that
High
is.
school.
What is
That
that?
must be nice for you guys going to well-funded schools that have science education.
So you know-
What's
I
it
don't
like going
think
to
I don't
school?
think I ever learned about the Doppler effect until I was an adult.
It's more of a trauma response.
It's like an ambulance. So you know how when an ambulance drives by, the sound gets like faster and then like faster and slower? The Doppler effect is how sound changes depending on how far away it is from you.
And
Yeah.
how fast it goes.
And
Yeah.
how fast it go.
Yeah, like if I'm sitting here and a car's coming, it'll be like.
Okay, well, I will say that Krozu is in their late 20s and so does understand about sound getting softer as it gets further away. And yeah, as soon as Karin has gone back into his room, I'm going to turn around and I'm going to try and move very quietly to Janie's office.
Okay. So, you're trying to move fairly silently over to Janie's office. Janie's office leads off into Janie's quarters, where she sleeps. And the tough thing about that is that, one, Janie is an elf and doesn't technically sleep, so she doesn't have disadvantage on this roll. The other tough thing for you is that Janie has a +7 to perception.
Cool.
Now, I did roll for her,
Okay.
and she got a 3.
Oh, Janie.
So, Janie is having a rare moment of complete rest. She is snoring distantly in her quarters somewhere, and you do not wake her.
Thank God, because I genuinely don't know what Krozu would have done if they had.
Throw the plants up in the air and run.
Scatter!
I mean, honestly, probably. And then the roses would be broken.
And that would be very sad.
I would like to, if I may, slip in, just kind of gently place all the flowers.
The office is locked.
Right. Can I attempt to pick the lock?
You can. Do you have thieves' tools?
No.
Okay.
Krozu's having a moment of going, I didn't think this through.
Yeah, you can jury rig something, but you're gonna have to roll with disadvantage against the lock.
That's completely fair. Is that sleight of hand, or...
Yes. We're gonna
I say,
it's
is
a
that sleight of hand? Like I have anything in sleight of hand.
Oh,
All my
God.
dexes are a 0.
Devastating.
So one of those 2 rolls was a 13, and the other one was a 2.
Ouch.
In the arms of the angel, fly away.
Okay. Janie's office remains locked. You are going to need to either A, give up on this quest, or B, ask for help.
Oh.
It's like Sophie's Choice. Okay. With my knowledge of the party, because I think it's gonna have to be the party,
You don't
do I
think
know if
Janie-
any of them are particularly skilled at lockpicking or being sneaky? Because I don't think we have a rogue.
We do not have a rogue.
I mean, I think it's possible that Mallow has claimed to be a rogue, but she is actually a ranger.
Maybe.
Mallow's
perhaps.
claimed to be at least 3 different classes since this game started.
And if I'm remembering correctly, Rook is a monk, Clud is a fighter, and Karin is a paladin.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Do I remember any of them having thieves' tools? Or wait, when there was a lock to unpick. Oh no, when there was a lock to unpick, we just did really badly.
Yeah, Ra did it then.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, we need Ra, and she's in another continent. Ah.
Ra has thieves' tools, expertise, and is a bard.
Incredible. Why didn't we bring your sister with us?
Because she's independent and
She didn't want to come.
Impossible.
I
thought you were
think
besties.
We are besties.
I think about 2 other people in the guild that we as a group are relatively friendly with. What do I remember about Jacques and Eloise?
Okay.
All right. Okay. Here's what you remember. Jacques, very polite, very civilized, very dashing. You have seen him occasionally simply make someone else's extra eggs vanish and show up as pocket snacks later. For Eloise, you know she has a lot of gadgets and the ability to build more. You've seen those gadgets perform a number of complicated and delicate tasks, such as eating the gold leaf off of Clud's various breakfast souffles. Also, I'm sorry, I have the saddest son in the whole world.
Hello,
No,
Max.
It's because we're torturing him.
Oh, dear.
Actually, it's because his
I
bestie
think he
Zeus
might
is
need
barking
water.
outside.
Okay. I heard the scraping, and I was gonna get up at a good time. Thank you.
The enemy are all rogues. If you want to ask them for help.
I would sooner die.
I was about to say it, but it's like Crozu would rather.
Listen. It's not my job to assume what you'll do. It's my job to give you all the options.
Okay. Karin is already awake, but Karin is also a paladin. Paladins aren't really known for specializing in lockpicking. Mallow is a ranger, that's more outdoor stuff. Rook and Clud are both kind of sneaky. If I asked Rook for help, I would never hear the end of it, the fact that I was trying to do something nice for Janie. I think the only other person who stands to lose as much reputation as I do for doing something nice is Clud. I'm going to go and wake Clud.
Okay.
I'm not carrying the flowers with me. I'm going to leave them outside Janie's door.
Okay.
So
You were woken in the middle of the night by Crozu standing over you.
Is this the part where you kill me?
What? What? No. I wouldn't do it while you were asleep. I'd wait until you were awake. I mean, more awake than you are now. I mean, can you pick locks?
I can certainly try. Why?
Okay.
Would that be a sleight of hand?
Okay. You can't tell anyone this.
Mm-hmm.
And if you do, I will kill you, since that's something you think I can do.
Mm-hmm.
Rightly, actually, thinking about it, I probably could take you. I want to... because Janie... What?
I think it would be a fairly even battle.
Whatever you think. Anyway, Clud, Janie was worried about us when we were gone, and then she was really happy to see us when we got back, and I feel sad that she felt sad, so for my own peace of mind, purely for self-interest, right? I wanted to give Janie some things that might make her feel better and a bit more appreciated or something like that. But, obviously she can't know it's from me because that would be ridiculous. So I just want to lockpick her office, leave the gift in there for her, then we leave and she never knows who it was from, but she sees the flowers and it makes her happy, and and then that's good.
Well, it was my fault anyway, so I suppose I've got to help.
Oh, yeah. Sure, yeah, okay. I'm holding that over you. Yep, blackmail. Mm-hmm.
He will get up and follow Crozu's lead.
Yeah, I'll lead Clud down to Janie's office door.
You guys tiptoe back across the hall.
Fucking
everyone
shenanigans.
remaining so low that I'm just gonna let you have this one. Karin, you hear much tiptoeing back and forth at this point.
Incredible.
Open the door.
He looks a little like a chicken since he's like.
Yeah.
Doing the whole tiptoe thing.
Yeah.
Card is just gonna watch from inside
Yeah.
his door.
He realizes, like,
If they start struggling, he will come and help.
You have dark vision.
Yeah.
You can do that.
that must be nice for you. Wait, I have the goggles. It's okay.
Oh, thank God. I was like, wait, did I pick the one person who can't see in the dark?
I have goggles. It's okay.
Legally, yes. We fixed him.
Okay.
Let's go.
Okay. You guys tiptoe over there. Do you have thieves' tools?
He technically has tool expertise that he hasn't chosen yet.
Yeah.
And this is now the second time where we've debated whether or not to choose these tools.
You haven't picked a tool expertise yet?
We keep meaning to do it on our off days.
Gay and autistic.
Wow. Now's a great time
To have
make
thieves'
a decision.
tools. Okay, so
I just said make a decision.
yes, I have these tools.
Okay. Cled has thieves' tools. You remember one of your sort of rare actual bonding moments with Ra was her teaching her baby brother how to pick locks. You were not quite as adept as her, but you did pick up some things.
All right, so that's a sleight of hand roll.
Yeah, it's dexterity plus your tool proficiency.
Okay. 15 plus 4 sleight of hand proficiency.
Is that just level proficiency?
Proficiency bonus. It should be a +2.
Okay,
It should be
that
+2,
is
yeah.
30-20.
That'll do it.
Nice.
Yeah. Krozu, you have chosen the right bird for the job.
Rosie was as surprised as anyone.
Yeah. Clud very casually leans over and just like goes in with a rake and just pops the lock pretty much instantly. It's very cool.
And he stands up, putting his stuff away, and heads back to his bed.
Krozu gives an awkward thumbs up as Clud walks away, and then is going to very gently find some space on or by Jenny's desk and set down the tub of roses, the seedlings, and the bulbs.
All right. Is there anything else you do while you're in there?
No, I don't think I do. I think I just close the door after me when I leave.
Okay.
And then oh shit.
What?
Can I make it so that the door locks after me when I leave?
Or already locks automatically behind you.
Good. Excellent. That's fine then. Then yeah, I'll go to bed at this point.
Okay. You all have a nice long rest. And you awaken the following morning. And it is Monday.
Yeah! Karin is already downstairs, crack of dawn, waiting for egg.
You had a late night too.
Karin gets up with the sun.
This morning your egg dish is a coffee custard.
Yeah! Extra energy.
For the caffeine. Knurt sees you down super early and says, "Drink this. It is mostly solid, but well, it's like a firm pudding. I don't know what you want from me.
Okay.
It's not chunky. It's just thick.
It's like thick coffee.
Mm-hmm. Everyone else, how do you all get up?
Krozu tends to rise with the sun as well, but they probably sleep in maybe by half an hour to an hour, just based on getting up in the middle of the night and then stressing over whether or not Janie will like the gift. So I'll probably be down an hour after Karin is.
Okay. Go ahead.
What's B-rollin'?
Nothing. Everything's fine.
Sure. Good.
Dope. Rad.
Listen,
Sick.
you only have a
Neat.
1 in 12 chance of things ending horribly on that die.
Hog. Rook is a late sleeper.
Mhm.
Like Rook likes to sleep in, so
Mallow
Ultimately.
is earlier than Rook, but later than Krozu.
Okay. And Clud, I'm going to assume is the very latest sleeper based on past events and also based on the fact that Bucky is changing the laundry right now. But you all come downstairs. Jacques and Eloise have slid in next to Karin and are already making small talk. Small talk.
Good small talk, guys.
Yeah, I think when Rook hears
We are
Mallow
all
start to stir,
neurotypical.
Rook will kind of like roll out of bed, flop onto the floor, grasp around on, like, reach up onto their bed, grasp around, grab their flask of espresso,
No!
and
I
drink
forgot.
some.
God.
Too powerful.
And then they sort of pop up and are like, not like too much. Like they this time they jerk just enough to like wake up, you know? The rest is for later.
The rest? You mean infinity coffee?
Yes.
We gotta figure out some way to give Rook advantage.
Yeah, Rook is just like, good morning. It's Monday. It's Monday. We have to go down. We have to. Okay, I'm awake. It's Monday. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it this time, and the Atom Cats, and the Atom Cats aren't gonna know what hit them.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
We got this, bestie.
We got this, bestie.
Okay.
Max also believes in you.
Thank you, Max. I guess if it's okay with you, we head down for breakfast.
Okay.
It's possible that at this point, you'll find that Krozu has joined Karin and Chuck and Eloise for breakfast. And will be kind of mentioning to Karin, so, do you know if we're going to be chasing up the poppy thing, or if we're going to be getting a different quest from the board?
In my personal opinion, I think we need to discuss it with the others as well.
Yeah.
We do need to chase up the poppy thing, but also
we need to beat the Atom Cats?
Well, yes, just generally beat the Atom Cats and see if there's anything else that happens to be in that direction. And find Jort's quests.
Oh, right, yeah, he's probably gone missing again by now, you're right.
Has he?
I think Ruth slides in and is just like, oh, is Jort's gone? Again?
Oh,
Again.
I don't know. Well, we don't know yet. He might not have.
You don't really think, I mean, you wouldn't slip off. What is this, the 5th time? The 4th time?
Rook, he's covered in butter. Slipping is basically all he does.
No, I'm sure he's learned his lesson.
I mean, I guess we'll see that when we launch you at the board. We're launching Rook at the board, right? Is that how this happens?
I'm launchable.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing this week?
Yeah.
I don't know. Last week you guys achieved great success with having Mallow go for it as well.
That's true.
It would have been a lot more successful had I not rolled 2 natural 20s for the rest of the crew, but...
Do you want to go?
It don't matter.
I mean, multiple prongs are allowed, right?
Okay.
What if we take 2 prongs? Mallow runs for it, and also Karin throws Rook. Then we have twice the chance of getting... Wait, what?
You may only send one representative.
Oh, man.
I mean, listen, if you can cheat effectively and don't get caught, then it's fine. But according to the rules, you can only send one representative.
I don't think any of us know invisibility yet.
Yet.
We're not cheating.
Yeah.
In Janie's guild?
We don't need to
Right
cheat.
in
We're
front
the
of her
best.
salad.
I'm pretty sure the Atom Cats are cheating, so.
Well, then we get them fired.
Listen, I'm not proposing cheating. I just forgot the rules. I'm not used to them.
Cheat right in front of
All right,
Janie's
you wanna-
salad.
Do you know what might work as cheating, though? I could turn into a cheetah.
Mallows
You get to
are
run.
Okay.
Oh, you could turn into a cheetah.
Have you seen a cheetah?
Hannah, would I need to
drawing
roll?
From a cheetah.
Oh my god.
She lives on her cross.
Given, okay, I can look up what biomes I've been in, and you can let me know if there were likely to have been any cheetahs in them.
Sure, if that's what you want to do.
Or maybe just Mallow or Rook does it.
Mallow won rock, paper, scissors.
Okay, we'll go with Mallow.
Okay.
I mostly just wanted to make the pun.
I draw you an animal. I have no artistic skills, and I will gladly do it for you.
I appreciate that. We'll go with you. You're fast.
Okay. You all settle down for a nice hot breakfast.
Egg.
Eggs.
What?
Except for Karin, whose breakfast was nicely chilled. There are many eggs.
Yeah.
The robot once again steals Karin's gold leaf.
You mean
Nice.
Cluds?
Yes, Cluds. Sorry.
I'm
Hey.
going to make a point to wave at Medalkin. Because I am remembering
besties.
that Medalkin exists and that we are fostering a relationship with her.
That's great.
And we're besties.
She kind
We're
of
besties.
like goes like, oh, hi. I've been, as she kind of gestures vaguely to her arms, and where they are not covered in tattoos, she's just covered in like academic notes with like rune diagrams and things. And she says, you have some great books here.
Thanks, they're Janie's.
Yeah, they were on a really tall shelf in a box that said keep away from Tam.
That, you know what? That kind of makes sense.
Anyways, I don't know who he was, but I lent some to your Littlest Adventurers leader.
No!
Oh,
Oh. Well, I'm sure it'll be fine.
I'm immediately looking for Tam.
Experiential learning.
Well, okay, so Tam is very talented, but sometimes his talent gets away from him in an explosive or unintended manner.
that was so diplomatic.
Thank you.
So
Yes.
So true, bestie.
I need a percentile die roll. No,
Oh, just like
Do you want the both or the
I need someone to roll percentile die.
75?
Oh no.
oh no.
Oh no.
Am I about to go unconscious again?
No. But you do see well, actually, I've got to say, there's a light coming under the crack in the door, brighter than normal sunlight. The door starts to open. Who looks?
Me.
I'm not gonna look this time. I know. I learned my lesson.
I will look. I'm not.
I haven't learned shit. I look.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh look.
I'm like, what's happening?
Like, ooh, light.
Okay.
That catches my lizard brain attention.
I have great news.
Yeah.
This has no saving throw.
No.
You are all blinded until the end of your next turn as Tam opens the door.
Even me, who did not
No,
look.
not you.
Okay.
You're fine. All of you who looked are blinded as Tam opens the door and is glowing with a blazing light. We're gonna just have a little fun here, and I'm gonna roll intelligence saving throws.
Tam, no.
Is that a one?
Hey, who turned out the lights?
Hey,
Jesus Christ.
that's a lot of ones.
That's
Uh,
two that one.
Yeah, Dally, for your edification, I have 5 dice in here.
Uh-huh.
I've got 2 natural ones, a 2, a 3, and a 14.
Holy shit.
Mm-hmm. So
It's bad.
that is Jacques and Eloise. That is both members of In the Rough. That is 3/4 of the Adam Cats. There is one remaining Adam Cat.
Essentially, it's just me and one Adam Cat.
It's you and one Adam Cat
Is
who are
that-
not blinded.
Is that Adam Cat wearing sunglasses?
They're all wearing sunglasses. It's just some of them block UVB and some don't.
Fair.
Incredible.
I think UVB is the one that's really inconsistent in sunglasses. I don't
I
remember.
think so, yeah. I know UVB is the really harmful one, if I'm not mistaken.
That sounds right. I just assume the higher up in the Greek or English alphabet you go, the worse it is.
God, I'm tired of learning the Greek alphabet.
Yeah.
Crozu just curses and claps their hands over their eyes.
What did you do?
Tam says, "Hey guys, I need some assistance. I actually haven't rolled for Jane.
Which dice?
Every single person.
Dalkin.
Let's see. Nope. The DC is only a 10.
What ab-
Are you telling me our old
What about the Earth
Well-
Nazi? The one.
Crozy, did
The
you
ones
look?
who.
They're blinded. They got blinded in the first
It's
round
just
of
That's In the Rough.
Adam Cat.
Yeah. I was gonna say Onyx and Steelix are fucking blinded.
I don't even know why I asked for that one. They didn't stand a chance.
Legally, neither of them rolled a nat 1. They just rolled the 2 and the 3.
Still never stood a chance.
Yeah.
What if you take this opportunity to beat the Adam Cat to the quest board?
I am honestly debating it.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
You hear Janie yell, "Tam, what did you do?" Amid a chorus of groans. Tam is just like radiating super bright light, and you hear bah, bah, bah.
Fuck!
Yeah.
Athletics, 10.
Okay, they don't have advantage this time because so many of them are blinded. I'm so sorry.
Damn
Is it
it!
another fucking nat 20?
No, it was a 17, which normally would be beatable, but
I
everyone
rolled.
was blasted. Fortunately, you two are the only ones currently competing, so you make it in second.
You know what? I'll take it.
The extremely well lit quest board.
Can I, while I'm doing this, I know it specifically says flames in thaumaturgy. Is there any way that I can justify it, like, sort of dimming Tam's brightness?
I think it's going to take a physical object to be between you and
That's fair, then I won't bother with it then.
Yeah, like you could throw a blanket on him and it would probably help.
Okay.
I don't know if cantrip will help that much.
Fair enough.
Okay.
What's going on? Why is it dark?
It's not dark.
Everything's white. I can't. What are these? Is someone fireworks?
There's
Okay.
a lot of colors going on in my eyelids right now, except I don't think my eyes are closed.
Fascinating, Rook.
Tam,
really
gonna need you to walk back out the door, buddy.
You see Snert, just like hobble mostly out of the floorboards wearing a welding visor, and hippity hop over and just like chuck something at Tam. It appears to be a bucket of lead-based paint, and Tam is splattered, and the light dims somewhat, and Snert crawls back under the floorboards
Before any of us can witness his true form.
Incredible.
Well, you got a glimpse of Snert's true form, but
Did we? I
no,
thought we were
just
blinded.
Karin.
Yeah,
Well, I
was
did not pay attention.
That's okay. You'll never know.
God damn it.
Okay. I have sent the quest board.
And just to be clear, I can only take one of the yellow.
You can only take one of the yellow.
Damn it.
I mean, they both do kind of lead to the same thing, right?
Yeah, that's why I'm just kind of...
I'm looking up.
Look at it this way. The other one wasn't taken by the Atom Cats, so if we end up having to collaborate with another party, at least it won't be them.
Yeah, you know what? Just gonna grab that one and...
We
We're taking the one
we
for
want the-
beat down of his life, right?
No, we're taking the children one.
God, I hate you guys.
I would love to, but we already promised.
Save the
They
children!
are technically the same quest.
They are technically
They are the
one.
same quest. We are still going to have to go to Fred. Also, can we do the bow one? Can we do the bow one? I love bow.
That's what I was debating on.
Can't we
Can we
take
take
both
both?
of the green ones?
Yeah.
You can take both of the green ones.
Let's take both the green ones and investigate the vicious attack on the children.
Do we have a bison / ox / elk / horse that we can sell to Farmer Plod? Or do you think it might be...
We don't need to have one.
I think a reliable salesperson would have a product, but go
No,
off, I
fuck
guess.
you.
I mean, I guess we could purchase one and then go sell it to Farmer Plod.
What?
Also,
think
if Farmer Plod only needs it for one thing, then I can just transform. But
Yeah.
if Farmer Plod needs it for the long term, then no.
Listen, it's
Red
just
Bull?
says salesperson.
Yeah, I think he's looking for someone to sell something.
Need a
for.
Oh,
Smart
sell
one.
his animal.
I think he's looking for an animal that doesn't get dizzy.
I think we should
Wait,
just leave that one at least for the That's Rough group. I feel like that's right up their alley. I know, but I feel like at the very least, if we leave that one for them, more likely we can work with Jacques and Eloise.
I
Don't think that's the case.
I think
I
we can probably take both of the green ones and see what exactly Farmer Plod wants.
Jacques and Eloise are now competing within the rough as they're blinking the stars from their eyes to see.
All right, so grab the one about the kids' attacks and the two greens. That seems to be consensus.
I would love to see them give FedEx Fred the beatdown of his life, is all I'm fucking saying.
Okay, Fred X.
Whatever.
We're not impinging on copyrights here.
No, of
Fred
course
X
not.
Fred, I want to beat him down.
You don't know him.
I don't think it's his fault.
Well, then why do you want to beat down a random person? Mello, do I even know you?
To be fair, the beatdown is for Janie.
No.
No,
No.
it's for Nike.
Oh,
Nike is the mom of one of the kids. I
The
think-
Fire Ganassi, the mother of
Yeah.
the smaller Fire Ganassi.
The toys.
I would do it for her.
No, we can't just go around beating people up.
We can if they've done something wrong.
We don't know if Fred X Fred has done something wrong.
Okay,
He's
then
just
we
the
find out and then we
messenger.
give him the beatdown of his
The
life.
No, okay, so the classic. Have you ever heard the phrase "Don't shoot the messenger.
I've heard it.
To be fair, you'd be hitting him with your fists.
Do you get a lot of?
No, I don't get mail.
I wonder why.
You do occasionally get mail from your sibling.
That's fair, but like occasionally.
They're very busy.
Yeah,
I'm so busy.
Oh, man.
and my dad probably doesn't know where I am.
Meanwhile, Krozu has finished their breakfast, and while Rook and Mallow are arguing, I'm going to start just sneaking eggs off their plate now.
Okay, excellent. Make me a sleight of hand check.
You bet. I don't care if I get caught.
Perception?
Yeah.
Oh boy, a whole 5.
I got a nat 1.
I got 13 plus 6. I got a 17. I look over at Krozu, and I take a big heap of eggs, and I just put it on Krozu's plate.
No!
How dare you?
The shame.
Yes.
Krozu freezes. And then just, damn it, no, I don't have a comeback for that. I'm going to eat the eggs that Rook gave me.
Are you gonna do it sullenly?
Yes, so
Do they
sullenly.
taste like shame? You good?
That
Oh dear.
sounds
Babe,
pukey.
Oh crap.
only I am allowed to puke today. Anyways, yeah, you are casually consuming Mallow's food though.
Has Karin made his way back to us by this point?
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
he's really doing it.
alright, so we meet up with Connor and Jace, and well, I mean, we're gonna have to end up going to Fred X Fred anyway, aren't we? Chilton, right?
I didn't bring back the Fred X Fred one.
What?
Yeah, Krozu's saying that we'll have to go to Fred X Fred anyway, though.
Yeah.
We just can't give him the beat down of his life.
I don't think we necessarily need to go see Connor and Chase, because unless just to let them know that we're the ones on the case.
Yeah, I mean, we might want to just check that they and the kids are doing okay. Do due diligence, right?
Yeah.
And they might have seen something. They might have clues or something.
Eloise shrugs and says, I mean, if you guys were there, what extra clues could they really have? Unless you just want to check them on how the kids are.
Obviously,
No, that's not it. But Rook might want to. He's a softie.
Secret hidden softy. That describes Rook.
Yeah.
And not Krozu.
Mm-hmm.
So wait, who came over to the table?
Eloise?
Eloise
that-
was at the right?
Yeah.
That was Eloise. Yeah, that was Eloise. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what did you and Jacques get?
We're gonna go beat some dude up, I think, or I guess we're kidnapping a guy to bring to someone else to beat him up.
Okay, right. That's Fred X. So Nike and Connor and Jace, they're all kind of hiring people over the same thing. There was this Eloise, you're good with machines and stuff, right?
I mean, sure.
Stay right there. Krozu kind of pushes their plate of eggs back towards Rook and is going to dart up to their room.
Okay. As soon as you've pushed your plate of eggs away, Eloise will slide it over and start eating it by the fistful.
I reappear a few minutes later with a large burlap sack full of broken toys.
Okay.
I dig out the Tarrasque and just kind of pop it down on the table. So a bunch of they're not all Tarasques, but a bunch of, like, toys, a bit like this one, all just started attacking kids yesterday in the tinker shop. In the trinket shop.
Yeah, I heard about that. I didn't know that you guys were there until one of you mentioned it. Good thing you were, though. I mean, it looks like this could definitely, and she kind of like takes a pair of tongs that were definitely for breakfast rolls and like forces the Tarasque's jaws open. She says, "Yeah, this definitely has like real acid in it."
Oof.
Well, no wonder it did that to my boots.
Yeah, I'm pretty glad it didn't melt like a child face off. That would be rough.
Came close.
Yeah, that would kind of take this story into a darker place than it's been previously, I feel like.
Yeah.
But, anyways, what do you want to know about it? I can take a look.
Well,
She's now shoving her ungloved hand down its gullet and trying to get a sample of the acid with a little vial. As she is talking to you.
Well, I mean, I guess, and I kind of look to the others for confirmation, we're trying to figure out if this was actually made by Poppy Toys or whatever, or if it was a fake that was, I don't know, planted.
I mean, do you have like an authentic Poppy Tarasque for me to compare it to?
Not a Tarasque. I could go and get an authentic Poppy toy, but I don't think they have Tarasques.
Well, I mean, if they don't make Tarasques, I'd say that's a pretty big sign.
Yeah. Hannah, correct me if I'm wrong, but these toys were the only ones of their kind in the shop, right?
Yeah, they are allegedly a new line.
Yeah, the owner said that they were new, I think, so...
Oh, well, I mean, I can... If you have any of the old toys, I can take a look at those. It just might be harder for me to tell.
Okay. I might swing by the shop then, grab something for you to compare it to, maybe.
So, just whatever crap will do. I think, doesn't Poppy Toys make those crappy blind bags?
Oh, what, my first... yeah, I can't remember exactly what they're called, but yeah.
Yeah, I get those for my niece. Or I guess I did get them for my niece. Maybe I won't anymore. If they're, murdering people or something.
These were the only toys in the shop that were acting out.
Okay, well, if you grab me one of those things, I can make a comparison.
Sure. I'm gonna turn to the others. So, what do we want to do with, should some of us go and see Jason Connor and just, I guess reassure them, let them know that we're taking care of it?
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, how reassuring would that be?
I'm very reassuring. Or you all are very reassuring.
We did save their kids.
Yeah, that's true. All right.
Yeah, Jock kind of nods and says, "Do you want me to come? People tell me that I have, I think they said a maternally lovable face."
That's really thoughtful.
That sounds comforting.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, man.
Oh, are those wild eyes?
Okay, well, I've eaten my fill, and also roots and mallows, so, I'll just swing by the trinket shop. It should be open. And
You ate my egg?
you were busy arguing.
Technically, I guess I ate your eggs, but I ate them off of Crozu's plate.
You ate my eggs?
Yeah?
I'm hungry!
Then why were you arguing with Rook instead of eating?
Dare you!
We can just ask Snurk for more eggs.
The floorboard lifts up, and you see a welding helmet rise above the edge of the floorboard, and Third says, "Want more eggs?"
Yes, please.
Okay.
More eggs.
Crozu
I
goes,
got
Yes, to-go box.
yeah, and an egg salad appears.
Excellent.
"Thank you, Snurt, bye!" Crozu legs it. I'll
Bye,
meet
bye.
you at Jason Connor's.
Poor baby.
I'm gonna eat as I walk.
Wait, you meet me? I don't want to go anywhere.
I think they were talking to the rest of us.
Oh. I'm gonna go collect eggs from the rat. Goodbye.
Bye. You know, where eggs come from. The rats.
Right. Hi, baby man.
Sorry, I need a big yawn. Hello.
It's me. I'm a big yawn.
You're a big yawn?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Crozu is headed out to the trinket shop. And will then meet the rest of the party at Jason Connor's. Crozu.
Hello.
You head over to the trinket shop and you see that there are 2 My First Familiar blind bags currently on sale for 15 gold each.
I buy 2.
2?
Okay. Let me just pull up my little table.
Yeah, table.
Okay. Are you opening these?
Yeah, after I've bought them, I'll open them.
Okay. Fascinating. Okay. You get a cat, parentheses, in witch hat, and a pseudo dragon with its own crystal collar.
Awesome.
So you now have 2 pseudo dragons, I believe.
Oh, did I get to keep the pseudo dragon from last time?
I thought you purchased it.
I don't think I did. Or at least I didn't take
back either, so I guess you have it. I think you confiscated it as evidence at this
I think
point.
I examined it as evidence and put it back. We can just say that it's the same one.
All right. Well, yeah. In that case, 5 gold is knocked off the price because the blind bag contents have already been revealed.
Fair enough. I will slip the pseudo dragon into my knapsack, hold on to the cat, and head to where the I'm assuming that that we were given details on where to find Jason Connor.
Janie has those details for you.
I just want you to know, and I'm sorry to interrupt, that I had to step away. And I just came back in time to hear that my good friend Crozu
What?
has brought a dragon into our midst.
It's a pseudo dragon.
Pseudo dragon.
With
It's
its
a
own
toy.
crystal collar.
It's a toy.
Okay.
I don't know that you're afraid of dragons. Are you afraid of dragons? Is that a thing?
No, you love dragons. I'm so cool
I was
with
going to say
dragons.
you have not conveyed that information to the group for anyone to be sensitive about it. So
Listen, Allie would never date anything. Carry on.
Okay.
Fascinating.
Yes.
Good to know.
Interesting.
So
Much to think
presumably the rest of the group plus Jacques get to Jace and Connor's before I do.
Yes.
Yes.
Um,
I'm happy for you to just let me know whenever I arrive there.
okay. You guys all make it to the house that Janie, wearing sunglasses and visibly nursing a headache, has given to you on a slip of paper. Thus far, Tam has been, well, not really hosed off so much as prestidigitationed off and has been wrapped in several layers of blanket, but he is still glowing when you leave.
He's doing his best. He is trying. Maybe he should stop.
I agree with Bucky.
He is very trying.
Sweet, sweet Tam.
He's trying his best. So
We are at the house.
yeah, Jacques says, you guys know these guys already, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I will follow your lead.
Okay. I knock on the door.
Okay. You knock and Jace, the elven dad, opens it. There is like the baby orc that you saw last time, not the orc child that
Who was a badass.
that was giving a slime of the beat down,
Mm-hmm.
but the little baby orc who had to be rescued from a shelf is on his hip, and is just kind of staring at you with like big dark eyes. And
baby eyes.
yeah,
Baby.
and he says, "Oh, good, it's you guys. I wasn't sure who would actually get her. Come in. I have humans like tea, right?
I mean, I'm not
I don't know.
human, but I like tea.
Tea is fine.
That's fair. If you
I'm
would
so
mind.
sorry, but could whoever's clicking stop clicking? Thank you.
Well, do you guys like tea?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
That's right, none of us are human.
I have this tea, which is brown
Sure.
and made of leaves.
That sounds like tea. Yeah.
Do you have honey?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes, I bake honey cakes every Monday. Would you like some of those?
Oh, I would love some.
I'm told they go well with tea.
What do you drink?
Well, in general, or right after my children have been attacked with murderous toys.
General.
Oh, well, I really like root brew, and he pulls out just the most like putrid herbal smelling root, and it's like, I can carve off a piece for you and brew it up if you want. I mean, the tea kettle's hot.
Tea would be fine.
Okay,
Thank you.
weird, but suit yourselves.
Which dad was this again?
This is the Jace,
Jace.
the elven dad.
Out
You
of
are
interest,
unsure-
is... Sorry, go
Mhm.
ahead. Oh, I was just
You
going to
are-
ask. I'm going to be
Well-
quiet.
Please
So
ask your
anyway-
question, Dally.
I was just going to ask if Jace is a wood elf.
No, Jace appears to be a high elf.
Gotcha.
I don't know if any of you would have been immersed enough in elven culture to tell like which brand of high elf.
Not me.
Okay.
You might. I would let you roll for it.
Hell yeah, what do I roll? History, I guess?
Yeah, roll me a history check.
Alright, yeah, I'm rolling the good dice. The dice that aren't cursed. I got a 2. But it's a
Not
history check,
cursed.
right? Look at a history. That's a 4.
I'm
He's
sorry.
an
I
elf.
wasn't paying much attention, probably.
You, honest to God, could not, like, if someone told you this man was a drow, you'd be a little suspicious, but messy.
But it makes sense.
You're still getting over your light headache, and you can't really make out the details of his face.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or the visible tribal tattoos.
Yeah. That's fair.
Anyways. Yeah, but he says, yeah, I've got honey cakes, I've got tea, I've got root brew, I have and he like opens up a cookie jar and says, I don't have cookies. I'll have to bake more. And you see someone toddling out of the room giggling.
Good.
And he says, but yeah, oh, I also have what are they called again, sweetie? Yes, I have orcish game nuggets.
What is that? Like, out of character.
It's like chicken nuggies,
Oh,
but for
cool.
baby orcs.
Cute.
And presumably made of game.
Okay.
I don't think the mic is picking it up, but Max,
I hope the mic is not picking it
I
up.
hope that the mic is not picking it up. But we're experiencing a very slurpy, intimate.
He's really having a moment.
audio experience as Max
Tongues.
Frenches his bone.
Oh.
It's genuinely quite distracting while I'm trying to think of snack foods that this man has.
It is an actual bone.
Yes, to be clear. We're not talking euphemistically here. The mic is not particularly picking it up.
Oh,
I'm
thank
so
God.
glad one of us can be
Free.
spared.
And it's the one with misophonia.
Yeah, so like, I mean,
Well,
if we
one of
had
the
to-
ones with misophonia. What?
Mm-hmm.
I love your dog. I love your dog so much.
He's a terrible man. I would die for him. But anyways, he says, yeah, so I'll just here. And he starts like assembling berries and honey cakes onto a basket and like pouring tea into cups and the root brew, which you can smell sort of mingling over all the other tea. And he's like, you're sure nobody else wants any?
I'll try some.
He says, okay, cool. And he puts out honey for the tea and some fresh goat milk from Happy Goat Dairy Farms.
Nice.
And he pours the kid on his hip a glass of oat milk.
Mm-hmm.
And or not oat milk, goat milk. Thank you.
Same thing.
And she toddles off contentedly with it. And he's like, I'm going to clean that up in 5 minutes.
Good.
He says, so, you guys were there. Is there anything more I can tell you about the incident?
Are you able to tell us what happened right before?
Let's see. We had all the kids sort of ushered into the toy store. I did a head count, and Connor was trying to wrangle them off of the shelves, which they ended up their being on the shelves was actually very tactically advantageous for them. So I don't know how to explain to them that they should be off the shelves in the future when it obviously worked out.
Rules change in emergencies.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be okay.
Yeah, let's see. Most of them weren't seriously injured or anything. Lozar keeps asking when he can fight more slimes.
Good job.
Yeah, he wants to enroll in martial arts classes now.
Is he a member of the Little Adventurers? That might be a good thing to
Good outlet.
Good outlet. Safe outlet. Maybe not? No.
Safe.
Too soon? Okay, never mind. Yeah, martial
Are
arts.
you talking about the one led by the blue young man? He's not blue anymore, but he was blue the last time I went to fill out registration paperwork.
Yes.
And I just left.
That's fair.
Brutal but fair.
I suppose we could try it again if you're sure it's safe.
It's safe
Look
for
into your heart.
It's safe for everyone but Tam.
I was going to say, there have been little to no child injuries. There have been many, many adult injuries.
It's safe if your name is not Tam.
Yes.
Okay, well, I'll consider it. I could use. They're not quite school aged yet, and I could really use somewhere.
Yeah, you need
that they could be for a few hours a day, so that I could
take care of the toddlers who aren't school aged yet.
Well, none of them are school. To be clear, these kids like max out at like 7 or 8, and the ones that are like 7 or 8 are like in this universe that's still not quite school age. That's like my parents are tutoring me at home age.
Mm-hmm. That aren't daycare aged is what I meant to say, but preschool aged, perhaps.
Yeah, and he says, it's not even, technically I don't need to sleep. That's fine, but I haven't had a bath in 4 years. I've just been using prestidigitation.
And the warm water really relaxes your muscles. Yeah.
That's fair.
And Connor can't use. He's not magically inclined, so I have to prestidigitate him too, as well as we're just sort of passing each other. He does have to sleep, so that's difficult on his schedule.
Yeah, I think the Little Adventures would be a good. With a big family, you've really got to have some kind of an outlet, or else
everyone will go crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. As you guys are saying this, you hear a little voice say, "Daddy, Daddy, look at this," followed by a loud boom and a very concerned human voice from the other room. The yard. And just like a, "Wow! I didn't know you could do that."
Same voice as the time I heard a little kid shout, Dad, look, Dad, I'm diarrhea in the vertical digestive climbing maze. And the dad was like, "Oh, really?"
This is, we think Keldra might be a sorcerer.
Yeah. Well, we have people at the guild who know. Not Dan.
I think Janie knows that.
Yeah.
Janie knows something magic.
Yeah. You need, I don't know, advice.
Can Crozu appear?
Yes.
Crozu pokes their head round the door and says, "I mean, some of us know magic as well, right?"
Legally, yes.
Hello, I didn't catch your name last time.
Oh, sorry, I mean, Crozu.
Oh,
you must be Jace O'Connor.
Yes, Jace.
Hi.
I hope this isn't presumptuous or racially charged, but Lozar is really excited about the two of you. He hasn't had a lot of orcish role models, and
well,
it would
it's
just
real
mean a
important
lot.
for. Yeah, no, I mean that's one of the things is that like if you're growing up an orc, I guess growing up any kind of heritage, it's good to be able to have someone who, can share that. And like I grew up in a village where I was one of the only orcs, right? And it wasn't until recently that we went on a sea voyage and I got to really kind of connect with a few other orcs who are more steeped in the orcish traditions, and I'm talking a lot. I'm sorry. What were you saying about your kid? Mm-hmm.
It would mean a lot if you checked in on him, spoke to him a little bit. I'm not saying dissuade him from taking self-defense courses, but maybe dissuade him from a life as a monster hunter in the future.
Oh, Monster Hunter. Oh, man. I mean, that can get real messy. It pays well, don't get me wrong, but, you've got to deal with so many other people to have a chance. Do I spill root brew?
Yes, would you like some?
Yeah, please.
And he's going to go ahead and pour another cup of root brew. Nice and strong and very herbally scented, derogatory. He gets you a cup. The honey cakes are lovely. The berries are a little sour if you are not sort of versed in elven cuisine.
Delicious.
Yeah.
Delightful.
Rook, you're having a great time.
Yeah.
Just saying not again.
He's slurping.
It's not as bad.
It's not as bad.
My dad didn't raise a quitter, so I'm like, it's delicious, thank you.
Listen, the honey cakes are very good.
Yeah. I will take your berries.
You can't.
Dopamine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Rook will eat Mallow's berries.
Yeah.
So, do you frequent that tinker shop for toys regularly, or?
Pretty regularly. The kids really like to stop in on Sundays, and we don't always buy things, but on birthdays and things like that, it's nice to get them something. Usually we're more lookers though.
Sure. So,
I mean,
go ahead.
we can't get 7 trinkets every time we go to the market on Sunday.
No, your house would be way too cluttered way too fast. Anyway, so I guess we were just thinking the toys, they don't look like the kind of toys that they had in the rest of the trinket shop. Would that be right?
Well, I mean, they were certainly a new line, but they're very sort of in keeping with the normal style of that brand.
Okay. So they've done other stuff that like moves on its own and stuff like that.
Oh yes. The whole My First Familiar collection. If you squeeze their paws, they'll come to life for about maybe a minute.
Krozu, who didn't realize this, is going to roll a deception check to hide the fact that they are very excited to find this out.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and roll deception.
That's a 7 minus 1, 6.
Devastating. Who wants to roll an insight check?
Me.
I don't think I have a bonus.
You have to beat a 6.
Yeah, I don't have.
I rolled a 7.
That beats a 6.
Insight.
Thwarted.
I rolled a nat 20 plus 5.
Oh my fucking
You
god.
know,
I rolled shit.
you know
13,
fucking
so-
everything about Crocy now.
I got a 21.
Okay. You catch Crozu's moment of childlike glee. You know Crozu's innermost thoughts, I guess. I don't know whatever Dally
know what,
feels is appropriate to share it with you on a nat 20.
You can tell that Crozu is very excited about this, but also feels like they have to hide that because they're a big badass orc druid.
It's not shameful. I'm gonna have a talk with you later.
Listen, I know
didn't say
that.
out loud.
I know that. You know that. Crozu doesn't know that.
Oh, Crozu.
Sweet Crozu.
The little girl who's come back with an empty glass that has very clearly been carried here upside down. She says, I have the brain. And that one, if it's got, you squeeze its paw and it chews on a book.
Oh, that's cool.
Also, Daddy, I spilled all the milk. And Jace says, I know, sweetheart.
No. That's pretty cool though.
You want to see him?
Yeah.
And she toddles back into the other room and then comes out with her like entire arms around this what you recognize as a toy intellect devourer.
Aww.
And in its little brain jaws, which you don't remember being especially anatomically accurate, but it's got little brain jaws, and it's chewing on what looks to be a fake textbook.
Nice.
And she says, yeah, you squeeze his paw and you go. And she puts it on the table, squeezes its paw, and it immediately bounds over and starts going on the textbook, and occasionally like batting around a loose fairy that's still on the counter.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, you can tell him to do stuff, but he's not very good at it.
Really, that's an awesome toy. What's his name?
This one,
Yeah.
I name him Thunder Warm.
Thunder Warm?
Yeah.
Cool.
Warm or warm?
Jace says she said Thunder Warm.
Warm. Okay, cool. How would you come up with that name?
She shrugs. And Jace says, I think we were going over weather and temperature that week.
That's so valid. Yeah. Really cool. I think Ricky's just gonna be appropriately interested. And I'll make a little. I don't have magic. Never mind. Wrong
What were you
character.
gonna
I was gonna make a little mirror image, or not a mirror, like a little minor illusion, and do some cute thing, and then I was like, wait, I'm a monk.
You're a monk who one of your core character traits is that you don't particularly understand
Magic.
arcane magic.
Yeah. I feel like I kind of understand this toy though, right?
Yeah,
Like
the
I feel
toy
like that's
makes
very
sense to
similar to stuff
you
that I've seen.
more than like conventional wizardry does.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think I'll show the kid my lantern.
The one
And
that
I'll-
just screams.
The
Yeah,
one with the
I'll be
little
like-
man in it? No, that's a different one.
Little bird in it, and I'm just like,
Little
hey,
guys.
what do you think is gonna happen if I light this lantern?
Oh my god, please put that
No.
away.
Okay, so to be clear, what you're doing is you're offering this small child
Fine.
a fire that screams constantly.
I'm not giving it to the kid.
Okay.
Never mind.
It's
Okay,
like
this
when-
is a bad idea.
it's like when you're-
Retracted.
It's like Rook is a science
Show her
teacher
the
lighting a
potato.
match to light the.
Yeah, I don't think
It's not better.
the potato is cool enough.
Please do not light the lantern.
I think the
Yeah,
kid-
okay, never mind.
I think you underestimate how the kid will react to the lantern.
It might cry.
Not the lantern, the potato.
I'll go start that again.
What if the child cries, Allie?
That would be bad. Okay, retracted.
There is something worse than her crying, you know?
Her excitement?
Oh, yes.
The worst
Yeah.
present you can give to a child is something that they can use to make noises all the time.
I still think showing her the potato is a good idea.
You're more than
It's a-
welcome to borrow
it's a
my sack.
Potato in a sack.
It's a magic potato.
No, it's a magic sack. It's a regular potato.
That's what you think. For all she knows, it's a magic potato.
I don't know how I can be more clear on this.
Okay. Anyway, so we're going. Oh, you guys need to go be good role models.
Like right now?
Maybe?
Did he mean right now? I thought he meant like in the future.
He did not specify what he meant.
Krozu is glancing around casually to see if any of the other kids are around.
You do hear a lot of noises coming from like the backyard. And you think that's probably where the bulk of the kids are.
Krozu is like kind of drifting in that direction, but also at the same time very conscious that like it's probably rude to just kind of leave the room.
We should probably go and check on the other things before we leave town. Like, figure out what Bo wants and figure out what Firmer Plod wants.
That's true.
And give Jacques and Eloise a chance to talk to Nike.
Yeah.
Yes. Sounds good to me.
Mm.
Anything else that you want us to know before we?
I can't think of anything. I've always thought I could trust this brand, this store.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see why they would change.
Yeah. Well, listen, we'll get to the bottom of it.
Okay.
I hope you get the chance to rest.
Thanks. I think I will in 5 or 6 years.
Wait, do elves not sleep at all?
No.
They have to do like a few hours of meditation every night. But technically they don't sleep.
This was not how elves were portrayed in Dragon Age. How was I supposed to know that?
Well,
the D&D specific thing.
I was gonna say it's they do have to sleep in Dragon Age.
How dare that be different than what D&D wants me to know?
I know.
Buddy.
Elves also have normal human length lifespans in Dragon Age, so
Disgusting.
Blocked, reported, deleted, unfriended, unfollowed, unsucked, unswallowed. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Have you never heard me say that?
I don't think I've ever heard you get that far.
really?
That's
That's like his fucking catchphrase, dude.
Yeah, I just don't think. Maybe I tune it out after a certain point.
I don't usually say it that slowly.
Yeah. Well, we learn something new every day.
Oh.
Oh, is he a little man? Look at him. He's so
Hey,
little.
Max.
Not making horrible slurpy noises right now.
Yeah.
Not
Really cool.
yet.
Clover is like over in the corner here, just staring.
Clover's like, I'm so much better behaved. Why he get?
You can see her. She's right next to the rollator.
Oh no, I can see her.
It's so much sadder on camera.
It's very sad.
I can see her and she looks reproachful. She's like, why do they not simply extend their hands all the way over here? Well, she is wagging her tail though.
She doesn't want to come over here because she thinks that she'll be within Max's radius.
Whoa.
Hello? Hello?
Oh,
I
We've-
can't see the camera. And depending on what you do next, I might need to screen share.
Oh,
But I'm
heck.
muted and deafened.
Oh, what a good girl.
Max, why are you like this?
Why is he like this?
Clover.
Oh no!
Clover.
Oh,
Well, this is what happens. Max left, and then Clover can come in and attack Bucky viciously.
Yeah. Well, now she's safe under the table.
Oh well, that's fine then.
Yeah.
She like zoomed under the table.
she was ready.
I told you she wanted to come over.
She
but
came
Max
out
was
from
in the
between
way.
my legs like an alien chest burster.
She's very powerful that way.
Mm-hmm.
He needs to know he's loved too.
I do love him. I was petting him.
No, I was hugging him.
Okay.
That's why I said it. Okay. All right. There's a hay golem, and there's selling a beast.
Okay.
Which do we want to do first?
A few of us could go and do the golem, while a few of us will go and do the horse.
That's true.
Oh,
If we-
I need to catch up with Eloise to give her a toy to compare the Tarask to. But I could catch up with.
Yeah. The idea earlier about you being a horse. So
Hey, listen, I don't know what Plod wants, but yeah, I'll meet up with whoever's going to Plod.
I'm going to plot first, then turn into a horse.
I'm very charismatic. I think I could sell a horse.
I think
Okay.
Karin has the best.
I'm going to go do the whatever the
hey,
I'm going to go talk to Bo.
Oh no.
Okay. I don't think you need a lot of people to sell a horse, but I think you need more people to fight a thing. So, Bestie, I'm leaving this in your hands.
I don't think we're fighting
I'm capable.
I know.
the mini golem.
We don't know
Well,
Who's
We have
to
no
say?
wrangling them.
Hey, sweetheart. You're so good.
Okay. So, you guys are splitting up. Which group wants to go first?
And
Let's do
hi, baby.
here. You pick odds or evens.
that. Odds.
Golem group is going first.
Okay.
Why you bite me?
Obviously, Bo's blacksmithing
Okay.
shop is pretty close by.
Mhm.
I don't know how many of you have been physically inside it before. I think Karin has.
I have.
But you all wander in, and you hear immediately some clattering and clanging, and you hear, "Hey, get out! That's a display model. Get out!" And you find Bo in the middle of the room, clutching a mop and just sneezing viciously. And I'm not going to do the fake sneezes right now because I'm afraid they'll make me throw up.
That's so valid.
Hi.
But imagine me
Achoo.
sneezing.
Achoo!
Good stuff.
Achoo!
Excellent. The Foley work here, incredible. Incredible.
I can't believe I haven't used you the whole time. Your sneezes are so realistic.
Thank you.
Hannah, do you need some antihistamine?
No, it's B. B just does it.
Oh,
He's
oh shit. Oh, okay. I wasn't
It was
looking,
so
so.
real. Here, look. I'm gonna do it, and it's not even gonna be as good. Achoo!
No, that was pretty good. I mean, not as good as
Achoo.
B's, but
Oh, B.
Ah,
no,
shit.
No, that was
Achoo.
that was too good. You every time you do it, it gets better.
Achoo.
Gesundheit.
I feel like I'm getting allergies just from listening to you do this.
Thank you.
anyways, Bo is currently kind of smacking a mop against a breastplate that's hanging on the wall. And you see some bits of straw just sort of fall out.
Hey, Bo.
Need some help?
Hey! This is the best you get from me right now. Because again, don't want to hurl. And he says, "Hi, are you guys here for new armor? Because I'm kind of busy."
No, we heard you needed help.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So this little golem showed up.
Achoo.
Yeah. And he's, I think it's made of hay.
Achoo.
It's about this big, and it's leaving slippery hay all over my floor, and my floor models, and my current projects, but that's less of a big deal because they're hot enough to burn it off. And it's just being a nuisance.
Achoo.
Achoo.
Is it in the model right now?
Yeah, I won't get out of this breastplate.
Here, invite it.
Karen just kind of like crouch under, just try to like yank it out.
Yeah, go ahead and roll me a, let's see, I think that would be, I'm gonna say it's a strength check with double disadvantage because you cannot see it.
Double
And
disadvantage.
yes. You
No.
can choose a strength check with double disadvantage, or you can choose a sleight of hand check with single disadvantage.
Can I assist? Oh,
Can you assist with Karin reaching up under and yanking? No.
I can't be like, oh, that's. Or I can't like hold the breastplate at a good angle, like flap up and like.
I mean, if Karin was giving you time, maybe, but
I'll
Hannah,
try the
how,
jacket.
how big did you say?
Bigger than a bread box, but not bigger than 2 bread boxes. Okay,
yeah.
I would say approximately the size of a bread box, maybe a good size bread box.
Would you say a size of a cat?
Yeah, I'd say roughly the size of a cat.
Yeah.
Ha!
What did you get?
7.
Okay. You feel a sharp pain on your hand, and you take 1 point of slashing damage.
Ow.
Here, what if I just pick up the breastplate and fly it out?
That might work.
I'm gonna try that.
Okay, but you should know one thing. Are you already trying it?
Oh, for sure.
Well, now that has to be how it goes.
You hear Bo say, "Okay, but you should know one thing, and I need you to make me a reflex save."
Okay, I'm using the dice that is not cursed.
Didn't that dice give you a 2 last time?
No,
Yeah.
the
Shut
other
up,
dice.
Dally.
Okay.
The 10 plus. Sorry, what kind of save was it?
Reflex.
Okay, 10 plus. I'm good at reflex.
What is reflex?
Dexterity. 3 plus 1. 4 plus 2 is 16.
Okay. You just make it as the whole breastplate, as you try to cross the threshold through Bo's door.
Yeah.
The breastplate delivers you a sudden electric shock, and you drop it before it does you too much damage. And he says, "Yeah, we have security features. If you don't buy it,
Can you turn it off? I promise I'll bring it back.
I don't know how.
You don't know how? It's your shop.
I can come look at the room. I don't know. I had a guy set it up.
Do you want to take the breastplate and just shake it?
How would you shake
From
it?
inside the breastplate, you hear a
Potato sack.
Wait. Jorts?
None of you speak cat.
God damn it.
And now
None of you speak cats or possess the speak with animals spell. Because both of you were like, let's go sell a horse.
In my defense, I stayed behind under the pretense of going to talk to Eloise.
would you like me, since I can fly quite fast, would you like me to fetch either Crozu or Mallow?
The three of us are a good team. We can.
Wait,
Well, you
all three of you were there and Mallow went to Plod by herself?
Well, because you were gonna go there.
Yeah. The
Oh.
Dirty Street Dog.
The dirty street dog does come by begging for scraps, and Bo throws what appears to be the remains of his lunch sandwich to it.
Okay. We don't have the jorts bucket, but I have this potato sack.
The sack that always has a potato in it?
Yes.
Does it hold more than a potato?
Do you want the potato to always be buttered?
Oh,
Hey,
God.
that's honestly, that sounds great to me.
Okay.
Here, shake him into this.
Okay.
Do I have to roll anything?
I'm gonna say it's not that heavy of a breastplate, so I'm gonna say it's dexterity rather than strength.
Oh, that's fine.
Am I assisting?
I mean, you're
Okay.
assisting in that you're holding the sack under it, but you're not like assisting and giving him advantage.
That is a 19.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
You shake a straw-covered creature.
Covered in butter.
Listen, you don't know how the straw's stuck on.
Mhm.
Out of the breastplate and into the eternal potato sack with an alarmed
It's Jorts.
it immediately starts fighting to get out of the bag.
I'm going to close the bag. It's
Okay.
okay, George.
I'm gonna need a sleight of hand check from you. Contested by the mystery cats.
Who
Yeah.
could it possibly
Sorry, I was
be?
just adding buttered to my potato sack. You said sleight of hand check? I'm gonna
Yes.
use the not cursed dice.
He does not have any bonuses to it, but he did roll okay. Jorts doesn't have bonuses. to
Natural
anything.
20!
You skillfully tie off the potato sack, successfully avoiding even the inside getting buttered. That's
Oh
your
my
natural
God.
20
Not
bonus.
buttered.
Is
Not buttered.
that your equipment is not buttered.
This is incredible. Truly, I have never succeeded at anything more important than this.
Yeah.
Okay. No more hey golem / Jorts. Let's get Jorts home.
Yes.
Why are you guys talking about short pants?
That's the name
No, that's the name
of a local
the
cat.
cat from the dairy farm, from the
goat farm.
The goat farm.
Judging from the owls, it was likely the cat.
Oh, well, I thought it was all made of straw.
Well,
That is a very valid assumption to make. He is usually covered in butter, so it's probably just stuck to him.
Oh, that was a lot of straw. And you kind of look around his shop and see that it was indeed a lot of straw.
Jorts.
It was not an unreasonable assumption that he was a hay golem.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah, he's been in here since like Sunday night,
What?
just messing up stuff.
Okay.
Not even a full day?
Okay. Alright, Clud, let's fly!
all right.
Okay,
I'll spend a good bit of time helping Bo clean up.
yeah. You do a nice sweep up. It's not that difficult, and Bo insists on paying you for your trouble.
Okay.
So you guys, and by you guys I mean Karin, who stayed to clean, get
Hey, we're doing something important too. We're delivering a jorts.
it is important. But
Yeah.
Karin's the one who gets 10 gold
Yay.
for his golem removal / sweeping services.
I now have 53 gold.
What did you spend? Oh, armor.
Armor.
The good armor.
I was like, even I still have gold.
I bought armor so I would get hit less.
Smart.
Smart.
Get hit less, stop immediately failing stealth checks.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Just by default.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, you guys are you flying to Happy Goat Dairy Farm?
Yeah.
Okay. You guys arrive to see a distressed looking Stacy digging by hand, not by pitchfork, through a wagon full of hay.
Stacy, we have him.
While
my
Jean
reading
looks
side.
on, and
Hold
she
up.
says, "Oh, thank you. I thought he was still in here. I thought he was lost and dying or something."
No, he was at Bo's place.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's so sweet of him to take care of him for me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bo
that was very thoughtful.
knew how important he was to you.
He's been taking care of him since Sunday night, apparently.
Wednesday night.
Wednesday night.
He did say Sunday.
Sunday night.
Jorts escaped when Stacy packed up her wagon to go
Of
home.
course. Yes.
And she says, "Oh, that's so sweet. He's really so sensitive. But thank you
He
guys.
is sensitive.
Yeah.
You're not here.
He is
You're not
sensitive.
fucking here." And she says, "Thank you guys so much for returning him. He's a good boy. He just gets out a lot."
He's surprisingly dexterous and clever for
Orange cat.
in a cat of his caliber.
She says, "Okay," and she holds out her apron,
Ma'am, you are not invited.
where it is immediately knocked away by a dirty street dog.
I will deposit jorts in the apron and a little potato and one potato as well.
And she says, "Look, Jorts, it's your brother." And Jorts says, "Ma."
No, ma'am.
Um,
No, ma'am.
Over, down.
Give me girl.
Good girl.
Hi.
Hello, Maximum. You're not being ignored. Hello.
I love
You
both of
guys
your
are the most jealous little goblins.
let me tell you, Holly was even worse. Like if we were doing this, if I were like with R right now, Holly would have come up and gone,
Aw.
Adorable.
Aw.
Clover just worms her way between you.
That's true.
That's true. The number of times I've gotten into Hannah's bed to snuggle, and Clover just inserts herself into my snuggle spot.
Mm-hmm.
It's unfair, and it's wrong, and it's illegal.
Yeah.
Just like, excuse me, sir, I believe I am the love sponge in this household. All the love must be directed through me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's a baby.
She's just a baby. She's just a little baby. What's she gonna do?
Crime.
What's she gonna do when they come for her?
She says, "Well, thank you guys so much for returning him again.
Yeah, of course.
I really appreciate it. Could you guys use some? I've got some newly made chevere.
Yeah.
Something you'd be interested in?
What is?
It's cheese. It's a goat smoked cheese.
I do enjoy cheese.
Okay, well, here you are. I've got some good logs. This one has cranberries in it. We're trying something
Ooh.
new with it. So
That's cool.
yeah. So let me know what you guys think when you get around to it. and I'm gonna go give him a bath.
That
And
sounds-
immediately you hear as the apron starts to be more viciously clawed against.
I saw a video of like a net specifically for cat baths. Like
Yeah, the little in it.
you just kind of zip them up in the neck and up to the neck, and they're
Oh,
just
no.
kind of in the back, like.
Oh no.
Oh no!
I know it's probably so they don't hurt themselves, but they must hate that so much.
I saw this very cute video of one that's like it's like a cat grabber, but it's like a spring enclosure,
No.
and you like shut it around the cat, and it's like so gentle that the cats really don't care.
Yeah.
And they're very funny because they just sort of like shut down when they're in it, and they're like shrink wrapped in it, just
No.
like.
Baby, no.
Hold on, let me
And then
find
the second you release them, they're squirmy again.
Aw.
Don't think that would work on a Yoshi.
I don't know. Apparently, people who run like cat sanctuaries and stuff speak highly of it. But, anyways,
Hell yeah.
so yes, you have successfully contained Jorts once again, and seen through my clever "there's no Jorts" mission this week ruse.
I genuinely believed until they got there that it was genuinely a hay golem.
Same.
Aw,
Same.
That's so sweet.
no.
I'm incredibly gullible though, so
I mean, me too, but you don't have to say that.
thank you, Clover. She's licking my knee clean.
Oh, she's so
Great stuff,
thoughtful.
Clover.
Ow.
She's so thoughtful.
Okay, the other group of you. Okay, so Crozu, you are backtracking really quick to talk to Eloise. And Eloise says, "Oh, this is great. I've got 2 samples to work with. Yeah, they're gonna," and she reaches down and like squeezes the cat's paw, and the cat like comes to life and goes meow, and puts on its little hat and starts like it reaches out its paw, and little like tiny red sparks come out that are purely visual. And Eloise is gonna go ahead and make a Tinker's Tools check. The worst she can get on it is a 10 though, so yep. So I'm gonna re-roll that. She immediately got a natural 1.
I love her.
But because she has like NPC powers and you went to the trouble. Okay, she says, yeah, I mean, these seem to be made by the same company using the same techniques. If this one is forged, it's forged impeccably.
Okay, thanks, Eloise. After Eloise has done doing the inspection, is the cat toy still a toy, or is it more a disassembled mechanism?
The only little parts that Eloise had to disassemble, she went ahead and put back together.
Awesome.
Eloise is, I think meticulous is a strong word, but she's very invested in figuring out how to put things back together again once she takes them apart.
I will slip that into my knapsack also.
Just in case you need it for evidence later.
Just in case I need it later. I was wondering though, can I retcon something from before I found Eloise?
Yeah.
Yeah, because after everyone else left, Crozu hung back just like for a minute or two at Jason Connors and said, to Jace, I suppose, since Connor's outside, hey, are you and the kids doing okay after all that? You know, for reporting back to the guild, you know, 'cause Janie would like to know, you know, how you're doing and whatnot.
Well, I'm not gonna lie, they were pretty shaken up the night of. except for Lothar, who's found his new calling, and
Those
Lozar.
Lozar.
Oopsies.
You know your characters' names and their little orc boy character names too.
Mm-hmm. Except for Lozar, who I think has found his new calling. But we've been doing okay. Some of the younger kids have had a few nightmares. I don't think they're going to be going near Tarrasques anytime soon, but
That's probably a good thing, all told.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that's something they really have to worry about in the day-to-day anyways. They have a few bumps and bruises, but all in all, they're holding up fine.
Okay,
And
I'm glad to... Janie will be glad to hear that.
I think Connor and I are more worried than any of them are.
That's probably a sign that you're parenting right, I think. Yeah?
So,
listen...
if we did all this work and we goofed up.
Yeah. I gotta ask, how did you get 7 kids?
Oh, well, we
have a backstory.
No, I mean they do. But
I just have this mental image of, we found them.
To be fair, it's a pretty personal question that Crozu asked, so they'd be within their rights to say, you have to get to level 10 with us before we can tell you that.
Level 10 intimacy.
Well, our first 2 kids are mine, in the sense that we all exited our tribe at the same time. And so I've always had them, and then I met Connor, and Connor already had a biological child, and so that brought us up to 3. And then our orcs are siblings, so that brought us up to 6. Because if we hadn't taken them, they might have gotten separated.
No, of course you have to keep them together. That was a good thing you did.
And then our 7th, I think by that time people just knew that we took in kids, and anyways, Kimbra just sort of showed up on our doorstep one day. In retrospect, we think she probably manifested magic and someone felt like they couldn't handle it.
Wow.
But so the orcs are the only ones that are adopted
Sure.
orphans.
You're all kind of a long ways from home then, huh?
Not that Connor grew up not far from here.
Okay.
Mother Griselda delivered his kid. So.
Wow. Well, good. I'm glad that this place has some history for him then. I just, far from home, it's affects different people in different ways, you never know.
Grover's not tearing up or anything.
They're not.
Yet. Definitely far from where I grew up, but I don't think my home is there anymore.
Your home's here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, I'm not good with kids or anything, but I'm okay at being an orc, and I know some old orcish bedtime stories, and a little bit of the seafaring tradition, like a little bit, and okay, I'm not an expert on magic, but I can do druidcraft if any of your kids wanted help with that, and And yeah, like, I could help Lozar with a little bit of combat training, just enough to keep him out of trouble without actually trying to get into it. I know what kids are like that age, or at least I know what I was like that age. I won't, like, bother Lozar or any of the others right now, but I'd be happy to, come and, just give them some pointers. In fact, if you want to have a conversation with him and, like, see what he would like to learn and let me know, I can prepare adequately. Sorry.
You wouldn't be bothering them. It would be nice for them to have a connection to their culture.
I'm kind of missing a connection to my culture too, so really he'd be doing me a favor too.
Well, I can definitely set you guys up a time. Maybe you could come over for Root Brew again, and
I'd like that.
We're trying to keep him to blunt instruments for now, so if you wanted to show him some staff moves.
Absolutely. Staff is my weapon of choice.
And again, I really, it's not so much that I think you're going to be able to convince him not to be a monster hunter one day, but like if we can slow the process down and make sure it's really a deliberate choice.
Sure.
To work his parents forever.
Listen, you just gotta channel the energy, right? The energy's there. You just gotta make sure it's not being... You just gotta make sure it's being used in a productive way, that's all.
Well, he did kick that slime pretty hard.
He was fantastic. I wish I could have been as good at combat as he was when I was his age. You've got a tough one there.
He had great form.
He did. Stanced. Yeah. Grounded. Good kid.
I got drafted for magic pretty early in my martial career, but we all know a thing or two. It's good form.
Yeah. Anyway, I'd better catch up with the others. But yeah, good talk. Thanks.
Yeah. Come over anytime.
Sure. Yeah, Crazy. And at this point, Crazy catches up with Eloise. And after catching up with Eloise, I guess I'm heading to Plod's farm, where Mallow already is.
Can I have eavesdropped?
You can have eavesdropped on that if you want.
Oh my god.
I'm so nosy.
That is totally valid. I will not have, I don't think I will... I'll say that, my passive perception is... God.
I mean, I can roll to stealth.
My passive perception is only a 13, and it would not have occurred to Krozu that anyone would, stay behind and listen. So I wouldn't be actively making a perception check anyway.
What's your stealth bonus?
2.
Okay.
I'm happy to let it happen, basically.
Yeah. I'll say that's close enough that you just waited on it.
I'm just gonna hold that information.
Nakey girl.
You can't see Clover, but that's good because it's too hot for TV.
She nakey.
Well, no, Deli can see her head.
I can.
That's true.
Hello, baby. What crimes are you committing?
I took off the
Public
collar.
nudity.
Public nudity.
My god. Wait, you all are in public?
Yeah, we've got an audience of 3,000 people right here, you know?
Oh my god.
It's just a stage, behind the camera is a whole bunch of people.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I had a nightmare last night that I was a new cast member on Critical Role.
No!
But for some reason, I had to call in virtually.
No!
And there kept being extremely loud interrupting noises behind me.
Oh no.
And the phone kept turning itself onto mute at random, so I would miss big chunks of the narrative. And then Matthew Mercer would be like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And I'd be like, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Oh,
Incredible.
No. I guess that's what you get when you do too much improv, to have the nightmare where you're on stage and you don't remember your lines.
I've had both. I've had several dreams where I'm on stage and don't remember my lines, but I've also had at least 1 or 2 dreams where I was on Critical Role.
I have not had that dream.
It's stressful.
All of my dreams are like I have Dishonored blink powers, and that's my one thing that happens in my dream.
Oh, that's so good.
I had a dream the other day that I looked out into the yard and the grass was like 3 feet tall.
Oh my god!
It haunts me because all I could think in the dream was our mechanical lawnmower can't handle grass that tall. I'm gonna have to buy a scythe.
You're so old. You're such an old
Nobody
grandpa
else
man.
will mow the lawn.
I was just stuck in a tube and running out of oxygen.
Cool.
Okay,
Nice.
well that brings the mood down a little.
Yeah.
That's like a real nightmare.
I have lots of real nightmares.
And there was
All the time.
There was an underwater Ferris wheel for some reason.
That sounds like one of my dreams.
Curse.
Cursed.
Trapped in a burning building.
Okay, again, we're not doing real nightmares. We're only doing lighthearted nightmares where we're
Yeah.
on Critical Role.
My dreams are usually like little adventures, but
Like the little adventurers go.
yeah. But except sometimes I have dreams like where the grass is very tall, and that's I have dream privilege. I have not bad dream privilege.
Anyways, yes, you guys can arrive at Grandpappy Plod's farm whenever you're ready.
I'm
But
ready.
of course,
Motherfucking horse.
Mallow was there before me, because of course she wasn't staying and listening to what I was saying or anything.
To be fair, even if Mallow had eavesdropped on you, you still had to go meet Eloise. So.
That's true, yeah. So you would be
Yeah.
there before me anyway.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Why are you encouraging this?
Well, she's allowed up when you say she can go up.
Oh, okay. For
well,
some
she's
reason,
a-
for
she's
some
a
reason,
vampire.
for some reason, I thought that like she caused Bucky great pain every time she jumped on him.
Not every time.
Weird.
Not every time, just like when her claws get into my bare legs.
Claws. Okay, yeah, no, that will do it.
Or her paws stab my various organs.
Yep.
Honestly, any pain that she doles out is worth it for the joy of touching her beautiful
Oh,
self.
fuck.
Mm-hmm.
What did I
Ali
just
says-
fucking say?
Ali
you okay?
says as Clover bites Bucky's nose off.
Nibbles.
She's a big headbutter.
She is.
She's really bad about headbutting.
Really bad about it or really good at it?
She has
She's
skill.
excellent at it.
She has
Yeah.
skill. It's just a bad habit.
Mhm.
Oh. I've got Max down here.
Yeah.
He's got him leggy up real
Leggy
high.
up real high.
And anyways, you guys approach Farmer Plod's farm
Man.
and see a long, kind of wiry, lean dragonborn leaning on a
Well
fence
done.
post.
Well done.
And he says, "Well, y'all ain't got no ox with you."
What do you need an ox for?
Well, ever since them dang invisible dragons got in my crops, I started inventing more ways to prevent the issues, and I've set up a defensive field form. And now I got to plow it, but wouldn't you know, dang oxen get too dizzy. They get all confused and they don't know how to plow. And you look over into the field and see an ox and a bison that are both just kind of like staggering around an open field, like woo.
Ooh.
And he says, "Yep, Can't make it through.
Could it be plowed by a person?
Are you offering to go out there and hand plow my field?
You got something I can pull?
Because I give you a knife on a stick.
A knife on a stick?
Yep.
You ain't got nothing better than a knife on a stick?
I mean, aren't all plows basically knives on sticks?
You got, like, something better than that?
I got a plow.
Can I pull a plow?
What's your strength score?
14?
No.
So sad.
I mean, I will let you attempt to pull a plow, but you will rack up levels of exhaustion very quickly.
Do you want to do it, Krozu?
I did have a follow-up question.
Okay.
Plod, do you need someone to do this just once, or do you need someone to do this, like, regularly?
That's a great thing about the anti-weed system. You only got to go through the whole thing once. And then the natural structure of the labyrinthine will take care of it. I got diagrams. And he pulls up, like, these, like, incredibly complex mathematical... Hey, fuck off.
Oh, sorry.
Incredibly complex mathematical theories, while B looks at my goddamn computer screen. This is why I need to find my DM screen.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't commit crimes.
Well, if it
Keep
makes
out
you
the
feel better,
criminals.
I immediately forgot what I saw. Like God intended.
Like
It's got
diagrams.
Your tummy hurt.
Why does my tummy hurt?
Does it hurt?
My tummy hurts because Hannah punched me in it.
No, we didn't.
In your mind, you did.
No.
You,
I
she
would have,
dealt-
like, swatted you gently on the nose.
You were like, there was like a push and a gust of air came out and just like scooted you away. Max.
Thanks, buddy.
B took psychic damage, I think is what he's saying.
Yeah.
And he says, yep. All I need is dang beeves that won't get too dizzy.
I can probably give it a go. I can turn into an ox.
Could we just try and direct the ox?
Like,
Yeah,
you
I
could talk
reckon.
to the ox. I'm not there. But you could tell the ox, hey.
What, you got somebody what can fly?
Technically,
Get up there and yell directions to the auction?
No,
I mean,
I was just
not-
going, go
not
through
with
it
us.
myself and figure it out.
Okay, Crops is pretty tall though.
Yeah, I was just gonna go in there and figure it out.
Okay, dope. Well, I'll leave you to it then.
I turn into an ox.
Right there. Yeah, you can turn into an ox. Go ahead.
I'm an ox. Moo.
You have wild shaped into a beautiful ox. The most impressive horns.
Still
Think
wearing
you're
my
a
druid earring.
Mm-hmm.
Truly prize winning ox.
Damn right.
The other ox comes to the fence to kind of like ogle you, but is too dizzy to really do much about it. And eventually just kind of lays down, looking dreamily in your direction.
Dreamily, like. For the record, I made the Chad face.
I stare at the dizzy ox for a moment and then look to Mallow as if to say, well, I can't hitch myself to the plow.
Alright, let's hitch this bitch.
Mal, have you ever hitched anything to a plow?
I have not.
Do you have any vehicle proficiency whatsoever?
No.
Excellent.
This is great.
I'm gonna say it's a wisdom check.
Okay.
No, you're not.
I'm not.
We really chose the best. Well, no, I really believe that Mel.
I said myself and let anyone else follow.
13.
It's y'all who switch
Okay.
yourselves around.
Yep, you
was I
successfully
supposed to know?
attach Krozu to the plow without destroying anything. And you've kind of figured out some of the controls at this point.
I thought it was just a plow where like you just pull it and it just plows.
Yeah, but you have to lower the blade into the ground and
I know nothing about plows in real life.
Okay.
You're doing great, sweetie.
Like Mallow would have used like a hand plow.
Mm-hmm.
Hand.
Okay.
I think I probably don't know that much about farming.
The mysterious labyrinthine, it looks like maybe a cornfield, is to the south of you.
Good. Let's go.
Well, yep, better get going. We'll make sure that the blade is not deployed as we make our way to the field, so that we're not ploughing where we're not meant to be ploughing.
Yes.
Okay, Doug?
Yes.
You enter from the north. Before you, there is options to the left, to the right, and towards the center.
Hannah, have you given us a maze?
Right?
Yes, the goal is ultimately to end up in the center.
Okay.
It's a maze.
Yes.
It's okay. Okay, no, this is fine. This is fine.
So,
we could really use someone who could fly.
I said I might have to use screen share. I didn't say I would have to use screen share. And you guys know.
Okay, but what if?
Okay.
Eventually, we're going to show up.
Yeah? With what information?
The fact that they haven't gotten back from Farmer Pods yet.
Not yet, but you guys are currently still wrangling George.
Yeah.
I didn't say we would show up right now. I would say eventually.
Depends on how long this takes them.
Can I have a quick reminder? And I'm not saying that this will help us rendezvous any sooner. I'm just trying to remember if we have any intra-party communication, such as message or earring of sending. I feel like did someone
Earring of message, however, as message is a cantrip, I must remind you it only works within a certain range.
Range, that's right. Okay.
And while I'm pretty generous with what 30 feet means,
30 feet? Okay. Never mind.
Yeah, Ruth
Max
does not have the range right now.
Crozu is resigned to their fate. They are going to glance at Mallow and then just kind of nod their head forward as if to say, I'm gonna try and go that way.
Okay, well, my computer froze.
Oh no.
So I automatically pass?
No.
Oh.
I was gonna say, do you want to plow everywhere I go, or do you want me to go first and see if I can find the dead ends?
Crozu is going to realize that they can't really communicate when they're an ox and stamp their hoof twice. As if to...
To denote the second option?
Correct.
Okay, I already forgot what I said. What was the second option? Right, for me to find the dead ends?
I follow you, yeah.
Okay. Okay, will you just let me know when you have...
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna use my finger instead of the markup tool. Because apparently the computer hates and I can run games on this, but the built-in Photos app is a little hardcore.
Well,
terrifying. So, there's directions to the left, to the right, and to the center.
Okay, let's go to the center.
Okay. The center one pretty immediately ends, but you can continue on to the left after you take the center option.
Okay. Let's go forwards then.
Yep. Okay. You have options to the left and the right.
Right.
Okay. Okay, you can continue going rightwards, or you can go straight towards the center.
Straight towards the center.
Okay. All right. You have to backtrack a little bit in order to get over kind of zigzag. And then you have the option to go northwards back towards the edge, or you can continue around a blind U.
Let's do the blind U.
Okay.
We all good?
Yes.
R just said that there's a blind sheep in the field.
You are forced to continue rightwards, and then you get an option to go backwards or to continue further right.
Further right.
You reach a dead end.
Okay. I would like to backtrack and then take a length of rope
Okay.
and like have like a little tiny piece of rope, like a couple of inches long, that marks like across where the dead end is.
Okay, that's very smart. I would love to mark that on my thing with. That's not the problem, babe.
The problem is the computer's frozen.
The computer's frozen.
Oh.
The computer's frozen. The computer is frozen.
Wow. It's
Garfield, the cable's out.
It's frozen.
Garfield, the cable's out.
it's not a touchscreen.
I'm confused. Is the computer
I'm holding
frozen?
the place because I can't use the markup tool, babe. Because the computer is frozen.
Garfield, the cable's out.
My bad.
Okay. You have backtracked off of the right dead end. And you your only choice at this point is to go at this point it's sort of southeast.
Okay.
Wait. Yeah, southeast.
Okay.
So you're moving back towards the edge a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You can go left, right, or you can go center, which is now pointing towards the edge.
Let's go left.
Okay, you immediately hit a dead end.
Awesome. I would like to mark the dead end.
Awesome. The dead end is so marked.
Okay. And backtrack, and now my options are
Center, which takes you towards the edge, or right.
right.
Okay, you go right. And then you move a few paces, and then you eventually get to a corner where you are forced to turn. Either way, there's a first turn off left, there's a second turn off left, or there's a turn off right. Actually, there's also two turn offs right. Do you want first or second right, or first or second left?
Second left.
Okay. Second left, you continue on for a good long ways before you realize that you are once again in a dead end.
Okay, I'm gonna backtrack all the way to where the four-way intersection was and mark that leg off.
All right, great. Okay, do you want
First left.
The first left? You can kind of peek your head down and see that just around the curve is another dead end.
Okay, I would like to mark that off as well.
Okay. Would you like first right or second right?
Second right.
Okay, the second right, you emerge down a curve, and you have the option of backtracking left or backtracking right or turning left again.
Turn left again.
Okay. The leftward option leads you what is now pretty firmly south towards the outside of the maze. And then you get to a point where you can you are turning right either way. Would you like to turn on the first right or the second right?
The second right.
Okay. You continue on a good ways around, like a full third of the outer edge of the maze. And then you get the option. would you like, you are going straight up towards the center of the maze either way. Would you like the one that turns almost immediately, or would you like the one that goes straight for a while longer and then turns?
Straight for a while longer.
Okay, perfect. You were eventually forced to take a left turn, and then you are sort of forced to go straight. You can go backwards, but you can see from where you are that it's a dead end.
Okay.
All right. You see the inside wall of the maze. Would you like to go left or right to try to reach the entrance? And by inside wall, I do mean very thick corn.
Yeah, but like it's the inside wall.
Mm-hmm.
Left.
Okay. Left, you pretty quickly bump into another end.
Okay, I'm gonna mark that off.
Okay. Would you like to go right instead?
Yes.
Okay. You proceed rightwards and see the very center of the maze. And as you sort of push past this archway of corn, you see in the middle a beautiful spread of gourds, safe and protected from the outside world and any invisible dragons.
Yeah.
Okay. I'd like to very carefully backtrack, marking off dead ends as I come to them.
Okay.
And make it out and lead Prosy back in.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead and make me an intelligence check to make sure you remember the route out.
Yeah.
But you've done a really good job, so it shouldn't be too bad.
Woo!
11.
Okay, 11 will do it. Also, I just remembered you're a ranger, so even if an 11 didn't do it, you're a ranger, so you remember the exact route out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's so fucking helpful.
Yeah.
Really, you are the best person for this job.
You in a maze, but you'll always know exactly where you are within the maze. But yeah, you remember the exact route out, and you are able to successfully guide Crozu through without once having to undergo my turning the plow around in a dead-end gauntlet. Congratulations.
We make sure that the plow blade is down.
Smart. Yes, you are plowing correctly.
Hooray!
Nice.
Powerful.
And Crozu, you do feel a tiny bit dizzy by the time it's over, but like you're fine. And you are able to go in, plow around the gourds, and plow your way back out with little to no event. And as you get back outside, Farmer Claude is once again leaning against the fence. He spits on the ground and says, "Well, damn, don't suppose you'd consider being an ox full time?"
No.
I turn back into, as soon as I'm unhitched, I will turn back into a half-orc and just gonna go flop on the ground and say, not full-time, no.
Alright, well, here's what I was gonna pay for an ox or a beeve. But thank y'all mighty kindly.
No
I
problem,
I point towards Mallow and say, pay her.
You did the work.
Too dizzy.
Salesperson, I suppose. Anyways, this is for both of you, and this is for you. And he hands Mallow a sack of 50 gold.
Okay.
And he hands Crozu a nice basket of young gourds that probably an ox or a bison would love to munch on.
I just kind of place the basket on my stomach. I'm still on the ground.
Okay, so that's plus 25 gold for both of us.
Yum. I will put that in my purse.
No, I don't. I'm a fucking ranger, bitch.
Oh, hey, I broke even on the money I spent on my first familiars.
Nice.
Aww.
Okay.
Sneaky.
What a naked girl. Are you naked?
I have 25 gold.
Nice.
Yeah. You're rolling.
I am rolling.
You're rolling. Hayden. Yeah.
I push myself up into a sitting position, just examining the gourds I have been gifted, and say, "Do you think the others are doing okay with their hay quest?"
I'll be fine.
Famous last words.
It's just a hay golem. How bad could it be?
Ain't no such thing as hay golems.
Ain't no such thing as invisible dragon, but we still do the work for you.
Well, of course there ain't now. I got this spray.
So, should we head back to the guild hall, or should we swing by Bose?
I think the guild hall, right?
Yeah.
Like it can't. They're fine. You know, Crozu, it's okay to be vulnerable in front of people sometimes.
Frozu gives you a blank look.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I heard you talking to Jace.
That wasn't me.
You're a fat liar.
It's just because I stole your eggs, isn't it? I won't do it again.
Oh my god, there's nothing wrong with being vulnerable in front of us. We're not going to make fun of you.
No,
okay to be
I didn't think you would. You're too nice.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, is what I meant to say.
Listen, I was just being nice to Jace because he and his family went through some shit.
Yes, but you were being nice to him specifically where you didn't think any of us could see you.
Because No, hang on.
Okay, I'll wait.
Okay.
I'm fascinated with this.
Okay.
It's a perfect.
Because it's hard, okay?
I know, but like, it's okay to be vulnerable for us. Like, we're vulnerable in front of you. Because we trust you.
Why, though?
Because you're very trustworthy.
You're not,
such a good
though.
person.
No.
You're such a good person.
I'm a mercenary. I do things because people pay me to do them.
Yeah, but you've like left that life because we were nice to you. And you
Yeah.
thought that it would be a better way out.
Okay,
And it
yeah.
was. And we're so grateful we have you in our lives.
Oh,
That's
Roots, don't. Oh. How do I don't know how to... I'm gonna go back to stealing your eggs, is what I'm gonna do.
Okay, that's not even a bad crime.
Well, okay, I get to my feet. Listen, I don't know. I've not... Do you want to know something, Mallow? The last time I had a friend, I was 16, right? I haven't... That was like over a decade ago. I don't know how to... I don't know how to have friends.
Too late, because you already have them.
Yeah, well, I'm kind of getting that. Have you, like, Rook? Like, all of you, but specifically Rook? He spent... Root knows how much on those cloaks for us. These cloaks, and I'm wearing the cloak. I hold it out.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
Yeah, because we're besties.
I don't know how to. I don't know how to handle that.
You don't have to handle it. You just have to let it be.
Okay. Can I... You're kind of a ways away from home too, right, Mallow?
Yeah.
Do you ever get lonely or homesick or anything like that?
Absolutely. The whole reason I'm on the road is I'm looking for my two best friends, you know?
Yeah.
And sometimes I miss my dad back home. And of course my other dad, but
Sure. I miss my two mums.
that's totally understandable.
The other groups I've run with, they mostly just care that I'm capable, you know?
Yeah.
3 hours later, the camera hones in on Crozu crying in Mallow's lap directly.
So offended.
Krozu notices a suspicious lack of random encounters to distract from this conversation.
There are random encounters in Frel.
Not really.
I guess, are we walking back by this point?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know, I'll work on it, but this is all really fucking new to me.
That's okay. I just want you to know that it's okay to, like, be soft sometimes. Like, showing your belly is not going to get you killed here.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's definitely different.
Were you used to it before you got here?
I'm sorry. All I see is in Allie's notes, she's written #love wins.
Oh my god.
Incredible.
I just not really, not in the same way that you have, but I get it still.
Out of character, is Mallow from the Broke Tusk Isles?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I was fairly sure, but I couldn't remember for certain.
No, you're fine.
It's also like, so the place, I'm from is very, I mean, I've mentioned a bit to you about it, but it's very, we love plants there. And you're really good with plants, and you've got that garden.
Yeah.
Maybe I could come see your garden sometime?
Of course.
Yeah. Okay. I have to stop talking about my feelings now, because there's like a pressure vessel in my forehead that is going to blow.
Okay.
Yeah.
But just know that I'm here if you need me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you see me pee?
Yes, Snowdrop. Thank you.
You were
Oh, hey,
gone for
Snowdrop.
so long, and the corn was so tall, but you came back.
Yeah.
I'm glad you came back.
I'll always come back for you, Snowdrop.
Oh.
Allie!
I brought you guys a dead bird.
No.
Thank you, Snowdrop.
Such a good girl.
Do you want to eat it for yourself?
No, it's for you guys.
Thank you. That's so thoughtful.
I have this mental image now of Mallow passing the dead bird behind her back and then pulling it out with the other hand and being like, "Here's your dinner."
Listen, if you take all the feathers off, it's different. It's meat now, and everyone knows that.
Yeah.
And then it's free feathers. For whenever you need feathers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
for a craft project.
Incredible.
Dad, why is Krozu leaking?
Okay, Krozu might be tearing up a little bit.
They're okay. I promise.
Okay.
I think I did whisper
Your
too
butt-
soft for the mic.
Your
I
butt
said
has
they're
a smiley
healing.
face on it.
Wait, Mallow?
A smiley face
Where?
on the tag?
You're being summoned. by a voice.
Sorry, what?
Sorry, it's just Krozu saying, wait, Mallow. So, if there's something that I would like to do that might be considered kind of a sentimental thing to do,
Sure.
Nope.
I could do that and
Yeah.
not worry too much about. Because I really think that we should give Nike like a proper cage to keep the rats in, and like bedding and like toys for them, because they have to be enriched. They're so intelligent, Mallow. They get bored so easily, and do they know what they need to buy for them? I mean, there's a pamphlet, and Root gave them some gold, but like, do they know? And it can be overwhelming, and they just went through like a traumatic experience. So maybe I'm going to get Rook, and I'm going to make them take responsibility. We are going to get a good enriching habitat for the rats, and that'll be a load off of Nike's plate.
Yeah.
Okay, where's Rook? I start looking around as if Rook will pop into existence.
You guys, not long after that conversation, but not so close as for Rook to be convenient, make your way back to the guild house, where your party members await you, covered in various degrees of straw.
Hay and butter.
Damn, what happened to y'all?
It was Jorts.
Jorts.
Oh. It'd be like that.
Oh, that would explain why there wasn't a Jorts quest on the board.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I just thought he turned over a new, slightly less buttery leaf, but next week.
It'll be different.
For sure, yeah.
We did get to tell Stacy that Bo looked after her cat, though.
Aw, sweet.
Oh, yeah, that is sweet. Why is that sweet?
Because Bo's in love with Stacy.
They have crushes on each
They
other.
have crushes on each other.
Oh!
Twins.
How dare you?
So when are we heading out for the place? Do the toys?
Probably soon. We should go soon, right? 'Cause we finished our thing. Did you guys finish your thing?
Yeah.
Yep.
We delivered Jorts safely home.
We plowed Grandpappy Plod's fields.
I did accidentally say Grandpappy Plod.
Oh wait,
he
Grandpappy
is-
Plod had the boots. Never mind.
Yeah,
it was
but
just
he
Farmer
is
Plod.
just Farmer Plod,
Farmer Quad? Okay.
Yeah.
who will occasionally give away some of Grandpappy Plod's farming equipment.
Well, it sounds like we're good. Unless there's anything else we need to do before we leave town, I think we should probably go.
Actually, there
Oh my
is
god.
the matter of being considerate, which you did do to the best of your ability, Rook, but I think we can do better. You and I are going to go get a proper rat enclosure with proper enriching rat toys so that Nike doesn't have to worry about doing it.
Yeah.
Krozu, you break out in actual hives.
I sure do.
Yeah, we can do that. Do you know a good place to get stuff like that? Honestly, my rat knowledge is admittedly limited to the little pamphlets that come with. I mean, I've read the pamphlets.
The little vein in Krozu's forehead is popping again. It's fine. We are going to find the closest source of animal husbandry, and we are going to educate you on the small creatures that come out of your hat.
To be
That'd
fair,
actually be
Krozu,
really
I think
nice.
you are the closest source of animal husbandry.
Actually,
Listen, if I have to make a cage, I'll fucking do it.
Animals don't really seem to like me, and I'm not sure why. So if you've got like tips, I'd like to hear them.
You ever seen someone attempt to purse their lips when they have tusks? You have now.
Technically, Rook is well within his abilities to make a cage if one of the correct standards is described and laid out for him.
Yeah. Like what kind of?
I was gonna say, are y'all leaving the guild hall to do this?
If it's pointed out to Crozu that Rook can do this without leaving the guild hall, then I will not leave the guild hall.
Rook will say, I'm not as handy as, well, I'm handy a little bit. I could probably make a cage or
Sorry,
two. Or
is there is everything okay? There's kind of like a rattling.
Oh, that would be Max with his bone.
Let me.
Right. Okay.
He's real horny.
Okay.
Nah. Max, baby.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I can hear it now. It's tooth on bone. Okay. It's more that I'm just kind of freaked out when I don't know what it is, but once I know what it is, it's okay.
No, trust me. When I was in therapy earlier, Clover was like, go into town on a bone, and I'm just like, Casey, I'm sorry. And Casey's like, no, I get it.
Yeah. She's
I'm back.
hungry. Sorry.
No,
Max
you're
was
fine.
sealed away.
Yeah, no, I
The
did
ideal-
specifically seal Max away because he was annoying and he knocked over the trash can 4 times.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fair.
Max,
Such a good
no,
movie.
baby.
Great points. Unbelievable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's on the board.
Mm-hmm. But yeah. No, I'm not as. I could try.
Okay. We got, God, what's the fantasy version?
Who? Eloise asks.
Wait, what was that?
Wait, who's Eloise?
Jacques and Eloise.
Oh, Jacques and Eloise, thank you.
Eloise of Jacques.
What did
Eloise,
Eloise?
famously of Jacques and Eloise fame.
Oh, well, probably not as adept as you, Eloise. Okay. You're really good with making lots of stuff. I'm just a casual.
No one else will drag this out of you, so my God, I will.
What'd you get?
What'd you get? 17. Brutal.
Yeah,
Wait, what did Allie get?
a 12. Anyway,
Ooh.
we should, Rosie, you should tell me all about what kind of cages rats have. Do they have...
Sure, change the subject. Just trying to know more about you as your coworker.
Entrapped.
I mean, well, should we ask Eloise if she's good at building?
Yeah, Eloise, as a team building exercise, as our coworker, do you want to hang out and help?
Well, it just seems like there's stuff you don't want to share with me.
There's nothing
Wait a
wrong with
minute. Wait a minute. Are you saying... Wait. No, Rook. Is there stuff that you're not sharing?
Rook, famously an open book.
It's just that earlier today, Mallow was telling me that it was okay to be vulnerable, and I was like, well, yeah, I mean, that's easy for all of you, especially Rook, who is so friendly and open with everyone. It would just be hilarious if you, Rook.
Why don't you open up?
Eloise looks at what she has wrought between the two of you and very carefully just like slides her wrench off the table and goes to like totter off to Jacques, mumbling something about, we really need to check up with Nike and
Just like, never mind, I don't want to get to know my coworkers.
Yeah, that would be crazy. But no, everything's great.
It is Rook.
Yeah,
Insight.
Everything's great.
Everything is great.
Would you say
So good.
fine?
Yeah.
It's absolutely fine, and we don't need to talk about, the things
No,
that
we
talked
don't
about
need to talk about
in the
anything.
crow's nest.
18.
Did you? Yep, that's a 19 for your insight. Would you like to roll deception, dear? Sorry, I mean deception or persuasion.
16
Dear.
Plus what?
1. So that's a 17.
Yay!
Very respectable, but not good enough.
But I got an 18.
Yeah.
Crozu can, in fact, turn into a bloodhound, and Crozu is on the scent.
But yeah, so rat cages.
Huh. Wow,
Do you know this?
Of course I trust you. You're my besties.
It's, Rook, it's, you don't have to tell us, but you don't have to lie either, right? You can just say, I'd rather not say, right? But there's obviously something wrong.
Everything might not be completely okay all the time, but that's okay because we look on the bright side of life and truly
The sun will come out tomorrow.
But it's okay to be, right, Mallow? It's okay to be vulnerable, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's also okay. You don't have to be okay all the time.
Yeah.
well, yeah, but if you're not hypothetically, if you're not okay all the time, then people want to ask you why. And that just seems like
Isn't that what you
a
do?
negative road to go down. And I think we're
Isn't that
looking on the positives right now, and we're going on grand adventures.
Isn't that what you do when any of us are not okay? Is you ask what is going on?
I, for one, have nothing to share. You've all met my mother.
That's true. That's true. Pretty much, your whole backstory is like.
No, yeah,
okay.
yeah, we all know what's wrong with Clad.
We should talk about that. Claude, are you okay? I mean, that was really rough. And
Rook,
Like I said, you know everything. You've met my mother.
you're doing exactly what Karin just said.
What a fucking mess. We are all an absolute
This is
fucking mess.
delicious. This is
I think I'm the only one who's been absolutely completely open his head and hidden nothing from y'all.
delicious, exquisite, fancy delight.
Delicious, sweet, fancy lads.
I was gonna say that.
Okay, well... Huh. Mallow, what do you do when they don't tell you what's wrong?
You say that you love them and you want to support them through their hard times. And that it's okay if they're not ready to share just yet, but just know that you're here.
What she said.
it's yeah. Well, theoretically, if there was something, which there wouldn't be, of course, because everything's fine. It would be people. I don't want you to get weird. And
Like we're not already weird.
Yeah, Hannah. Hannah is delighted.
Hannah
You guys
is
are
getting
so much progress.
Hannah is getting ready to reach her final form by getting into a cocoon.
Oh my god, I didn't know you were a Wurmple turning into a Silcoon.
Don't you ever fucking say that.
Why would you call Hannah a Silcoon, one of the confirmed Pokemon that is no one's favourite? At least call her a Cascoon.
She's turning into a Metapod.
Can he ever say that again? You fucking
He's turning into anything. It's a pupa dog.
it's just that
Oh yeah, obviously.
theoretically, everyone back home treats me like I'm made out of glass, and I'm not. And adventuring is very good, and it was the plan, so that's what I'm doing, and we're here.
good for you.
Well, of course you're not made out of glass. You're made out of feathers.
That's what I said. And bones and talons and
Krozu is going to lean forward with their hands folded just on the table in front of them and kind of peer into Rook's face and say, Rook, I promise that no matter what happened or what I find out about you, I will still keep stealing your eggs.
That is so beautiful.
Beautiful.
yeah.
What was it? It was a
Uh,
D4. Oh, no, not a D4. R.
Have we lost R?
We've lost a die. What are you chewing on? What are you chewing on?
They're having a moment, guys.
But he dropped a D4. You know what?
I gotta make sure my dog's not chewing on it.
Okay, fair enough. Moment postponed.
Moment postponed.
And now a word from our sponsor. D4 Caltrops.
I fucking told you.
Crimes!
Was Clover / Max eating the D4?
Yes.
There was an attempt made.
She was shining it.
This from the Don't Let Your Dogs Do Crime Coalition.
Yes.
Oh. The piece of the fork that Hannah broke when I'm
Yeah.
That's
I just want everyone to know that I beat Hannah in a game and she broke a fork about it.
What?
Wow, Hannah.
Thunder, which was, by the way, my third time playing it, and I beat her. And she had never lost a game before. I'm very cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm having a moment though. And you're having a moment right
Sorry.
now, but could I go back to my moment?
Yes, go back to your moment.
Thank you.
At last, Rook has a
Even if you're stealing from a widower.
Even if you're... I didn't hear what you said, Allie.
Stealing from a widower.
Oh. Yeah, I'd still steal your eggs. Is it okay if I offer my condolences?
Yeah. Thanks.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Rook.
How old are you again? 20.
In my head, I thought you were babies. So.
You're how old?
25.
Can I be honest about something?
Sure.
Sometimes I want to talk about people who aren't in my life anymore, who I miss. But I worry that bringing it up would be awkward. But I'd still like to. Would you ever like to talk about your spouse?
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. His name was Emil.
Emil. Was he really friendly and outgoing like you?
Not as much, but he was the brains of the operation. Really good at, alchemy and tinkering and all that. But, yeah.
So, he was good at building things.
He was the best at building things.
Because we don't... So, do you like building things, or does it remind you too much of him?
It's good. He'd want me to build more. And I want to build more. I mean, I'm not very good, but we used to build things together sometimes.
Clover, she's having a moment.
But yeah, so rat cages.
No longer at. It's my tragic backstory. Lost an arm.
Oh no.
It's your mom's tragic backstory.
Damn.
Let me get some materials. And, and we can, yeah, I can tell you what kind of dimensions we're looking at.
Yeah. And Rook will pull out their notebook and kind of flip to the back of it, and you can see the neat handwriting, kind of as they're flipping through, and then they get to the back of it, and the handwriting's all messy. And they kind of flip to a new page and and then write like rat cage at the top. No, rat extravaganza palace.
Okay, so I start kind of going into it. It's like, well, it has to be at least a couple feet long, couple feet, maybe like more like 3-4 feet high. Maybe not that high, but like it has to have multiple layers. They have to be able to climb. It's one of the things they do, right? And then and basically it goes on like this.
Yeah, and Rook is like getting like more and more into it, and
Crozu is also like pointing out stuff like they like having places to hide and store their food, and that's like so that there's room for Rook to kind of think about ways to incorporate like little crannies and stuff.
There's gonna be tunnels. Room for them to make their own tunnels, but also like secret tunnels.
Secret tunnels.
Secret tunnels through the mountain.
Secret
tunnel.
Okay, I'm gonna say that this is going to, as a project, use up about 1 gold of supplies.
I'll take that easy.
Yeah.
I got a whole 25 gold today.
Nice.
Well, I meant supplies TM, but yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I will give you guys 2 options for how to roll. Either Crozu can assist Rook and give Rook advantage, or Prozu can roll animal handling, and Root can roll Tinker's tools, and I will combine those.
Okay. My bonus for animal handling is +5. Rook, what are yours?
Tinker's tools using dexterity
Mm-hmm.
would be a +5. So why don't we both roll?
Okay.
Okay. Once again, using these dice which do not have a curse on them.
Counter.
Shit. I got a 10.
Hello.
What'd you get?
Oh god.
Well, if you add 5 to it, it's an 8.
You know what? You guys have both overcome a lot of emotional constipation this episode.
Uh-huh.
And also, I've been forgetting to hand out inspiration for like 2 weeks,
Yeah.
maybe more. So I'm going to give you both inspiration. For
Thank
your
you.
very...
Thank you.
Fuck me. I rolled even lower.
It's alright, okay.
Horrible.
I'm sticking with my 10. God. But thank you, Hannah. I really appreciate it.
That's an 18.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank God for Rook.
Yeah. Rook, now that you actually have someone to talk to about the fact that the notes in the first half of the book aren't yours, it makes going over them a little bit easier. And you find some really helpful tips from Anil's notes about things that you haven't had as much experience with, like the soldering and really constructing a full 3-dimensional structure. And you were able to make a beautiful rat palace extravaganza with Crozu's help. And it's the castle that dealing with your emotions built.
Oh.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't realize that there would be so much character building with just saying, hey, we need to get a rat cage.
Mm-hmm.
It's incredible.
It'd be like that sometimes.
Yeah.
You like that sometimes.
And I think that's where we're going to close session tonight.
Sometimes the characterization is the rat cage we made along the way.
Yeah.